Daniel Mills and the defense got to the Raiders quarterback 3 times. They also picked him off twice. But that was last week. Tonight they face a geographical rival they've never beaten since moving to Langley 7 seasons ago. These Rams loaded up, bringing in the winningest coach in BCFC history. Coach Blocker brought plenty of offensive weapons with him from his last stop, the Calgary Colts. A new chapter begins tonight in this BCFC mainland rivalry. BBN Sports presents the Huskers and Rams on BCFC TV.
Well, good evening and welcome to Exhibition Stadium here in Chilliwack. Warren Andrews with you. This is the Huskers pregame show brought to you by VBN Sports and the BCFC. And tonight your Huskers will host their cross-city rivals in the Langley Rams. Huskers come in off of that big 33-31 win, a come-from-behind win last Sunday here at Exhibition Stadium. In the afternoon sunshine as they upended the defending champion Vancouver Island Raiders. In that game, you can talk all about the offense, and hey, why not, with Julian Wittink throwing for 4 touchdowns, looking very much the former college quarterback, very poised in there. 3 of those passes going to his partner in crime, so to speak. Anthony Dick caught 3 of those. Nathan Stokes also caught a touchdown. Lots of offensive weapons for the Huskers this year. And you don't have to look further than the running backs, which they haven't had a running game for the last few years, but Keegan Vickland and Vaughn Richardson, the Punisher. And then you throw in Remy Teshevel. They've got 3 very good backs. They'll hope to open up some holes and chew up some yards against this Rams team that, as you heard in the warm-up, they alluded to the fact that the Rams went out and got the winningest coach in BCFC history, Matt Snoop Blocker. 126 regular season wins for Coach Blocker. Brought some very good coaches in along with them, two of them, CFL pedigree. You look at his defensive coordinator, Marvin Pope. He helped the Calgary Colts make it to 3 straight Prairie Football Conference finals. He's a former Calgary Stampeder for 6 seasons, won the '92 Grey Cup. And then Stephen Clark is a name many Lions fans will know. He's a defensive coach also with the Rams, and he was a defender with the BC Lions. One thing that the Rams struggled with in their first game, they only picked up 37 yards rushing. That sounds like the Huskers from last season. And I kind of sniffed around and got the lowdown and asked, well, why was the running game not that effective? Well, they were counting on a guy named Xavier Ramsey. And he was another former Calgary Colts player. He averaged almost 7 yards a carry in 2016 with the Colts in a very tough Prairie Football Conference. Well, he got hurt in spring camp, and so that was out the window. Then they decided they would give Stephen Legere a shot. He got hurt in the first quarter against the West Shore Rebels. So now they will rely on the likes of Joe Carter and I believe Vincent Mohammed. So look for number 9 and number 27 to be the 2 guys to try to find some holes in a very good defensive line for the Valley Huskers. And boy, the Huskers defensively, Didn't return a whole lot of guys, but that didn't seem to matter. Look at the likes of Dawson Davis. Matt Macri talking about him, number 74 for the Huskers. 4 solo tackles for that man. They had that blocked punt by Sam Henneberry. The Kelly boys, Darius and Dion, were flying around the field. 3 tackles for Darius, 1 tackle for Dion. You look at the interceptions. Desmond Jeanson with the huge interception as the game was coming to a close. And then you look at the defensive backs also jumping up to create some havoc. Daniel Mills, the former University of Saskatchewan Husky, also the former Defensive Rookie of the Year in the BCFC with your Valley Huskers, came through with 2 big sacks, one of them pinning the Raiders back inside their end zone. So there is a lot to be excited about. And I mentioned Julian Whittink. It starts and ends with your quarterback quite often. They feel they've got the offensive line now that can give them a little bit of room. They kind of got things going in the second half, and that's when the game really opened up for the Huskers. So look for that offensive line to be key. The Langley Rams always tend to have a good defensive line. They always have that good pressure. Coach Snoop Blocker likes to have those defenders that can come in and create havoc and make things tough on the quarterback. Now, we mentioned that the Rams are coming off of a loss. 19-16 was a loss to the West Shore Rebels. That was last Saturday, and in that game, it was actually the Rams winning in that game until the Rebels came back and ended up clinching it. A couple of big defensive plays. They stripped the ball off of one of the stars of the Langley Rams, Max Joseph. He's a local boy, played for the Kamloops Broncos last year, was a phenomenal receiver for them. They're looking for big things out of him. So he'll be one guy they'll really want to key on, and I remember Max Joseph from those Border Bowls, and he was very good also the Zone Bowls too. So he's a guy that they'll want to keep their eye on. He wears number 2 for the Langley Rams. I want to remind you that this game is brought to you by Remax Treeland Langley. If you're looking for a condo or home in Greater Vancouver or Langley, click to find out how Remax Treeland can help you buy or sell your next home. remaxtreeland.bc.ca. And of course, this game and all games in the BCFC are brought to you by the British Columbia Football Conference. All games can be live streamed, or you know what, if you're there at the game and you're like, that was exciting, I've got to see that again, well, you can watch it on demand. You can find all of it if you go to bcfctv.com. Another thing to quickly mention is that the CJFL is proud to announce the fan photo contest each week, including last week. If you're attending any game across this great country of ours, snap a selfie in the stands, post it to Instagram with a special hashtag, CJFL fan photo. You could win a $50 gift certificate to the official CJFL merchandise store. So it is Warren Andrews. Matt Macri will join me in just a moment here at Exhibition Stadium as the DJs looking to get the crowd riled up here. The Rams are on the field, and the Huskers about to wave that flag and make their way down the tunnel inside Exhibition Stadium. Another good-looking crowd shaping up here, Matt, and why not after the buzz of last week?
Well, it's electric in here. Holy smokes. Welcome to Saturday Night Football. These guys are ready to go today.
Now, there are 2 sides of the coin to the win last week, Matt, and where the Huskers came from behind, won 33-31. You could look at the obvious stat line and think, well, the offense picked it up. But, you know, Julian Whittink, 4 touchdowns in that second half, 3 of them to Anthony Dick. The running game was great. The offensive line opened up holes, protected Whittink. But then if you look a little bit closer, the defense didn't look too shabby either, really, did they?
Oh, it was nuts. The defense was insane. I mean, they had guys making plays all over the field. They had a big interception. They had a couple big interceptions when they needed it. It was unbelievable. They had 3 interceptions total, and it was at the crucial times. if you put that game last week under a microscope, though, the scores against were errors that they committed in their own end below the 30-yard line that ended up in touchdowns. Besides that, it was a 3-0 game going into the half. Two big plays at the start of the second half put them up 31-3. After that, the Huskers shut the door. And the difference you see from last year is that's when the Huskers fell apart. This year, they said, no, we're not falling apart. We're pulling it together. We're getting out there. We're getting it done. And it was a completely different team than we've seen in the past.
Warren Anderson, Matt Macreys, we're getting set for the Valley Huskers hosting the Langley Rams. 18 degrees right now. There is a risk of thunderstorms this evening, much different than the dry, hot weather we've had as of late. Last week they faced a good running back in Rhett Williams, I believe of the Valley Raiders, but they limited him in the second half. This week a little different because the top 2 running backs for the Langley Rams are injured. In fact, Xavier Ramsey, who averaged almost 7 yards a carry in the Prairie Football Conference, he's done for the year.
Really? Xavier is an excellent football player. I mean, really looking forward to him playing today. That's kind of disappointing.
Here's the national anthem. Well, welcome to another great night of football here in the BCFC. Warren Andrews with Matt Macri, Steve Muller on stats. Crew of thousands with VBN Sports bringing you all the action. As tonight it will be the Valley Huskers at home for their second straight game in the midnight black jerseys with the green and gold trim, the forest green helmets, and the Scarecrow logo. Taking on their cross-city rivals, the Langley Rams. They've never beaten the Langley Rams since they moved to Langley 7 years ago. They're 0-14, hoping to break that slump today. And the Rams in their white jerseys with the navy and yellow trim as we get set for the opening coin toss. And the Rams will look to Duncan Little, their quarterback, played with the Calgary Colts for a pair of seasons. University of Calgary before that. Had a bit of rust from what we understand against the West Shore Rebels in his first game. The Rams and their fans hoping he's got the WD-40 out and shooking that rust off a bit. As for Julian Whittink, didn't show much rust, especially by that second half. The CJFL Player of the Week last week.
Yeah, and it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. He showed such poise, and, I mean, he took the hits, and he just kept coming back. You call him Superman out there. He just did such a good job. I'm excited here. I'm looking down these rosters, and I guess it's come to the stage now that the kids that I've coached for the last 10 years are now coming to junior football. And I see so much talent on both these sheets. I can't wait for this game tonight. It's going to be phenomenal.
As we look at who's going to receive here in the first half, quickly tell you, Duncan Little was 21 of 43. That was one attempt shy of the Rams' passing record. They didn't have much of a running game, only 37 yards on the ground against a very good West Shore Rebels team. He did have the one touchdown. Whittink, 25 of 39, 310 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Mohammed led the way rushing for the Rams, 3 carries for 29 yards. Keegan Vicklin picked up 81 yards on 17 carries for your Huskers. Joe Carter, don't call me Junior Carter, 3 receptions for 103 yards and 1 touchdown. And they'll look to him in the backfield from what I understand, along with Muhammad. Anthony Dick led the way, 5 receptions for 90 yards and 3 touchdowns. Talked about Max Joseph, the former Kamloops Bronco, the local boy.
Yep.
And he had 5 catches to lead
Wow.
all Rams in that category.
Max Joseph is just an unbelievable player. I can't see him not getting the ball lots today. He's very dynamic. He's very, very dynamic player. Very exciting to watch. I watched him out in Langley, in North Langley, playing. He's so much fun. And Joe Carter, once again, another guy that you get the ball in his hands and things are going to happen.
Quickly go through. The referee is Jeff Hewitt. The umpire, Rick Carter. Head linesman, Tim Lumen Gardner. Line judge, Matt Kutney. The back judge, Hans Vanderdoe. Side judge, Henning Risky. And field judge, Nigel Bush. The gentleman that will watch for infractions, and we'll see some orange flying. And the West Shore Rebels took 34 penalties against these Langley Rams. Huskers hoping to be a little more disciplined against the Rams today, as it will be the Rams kicking off. And a boot from number 35, Cameron Cross. Got picked up by the Huskers, and they will charge ahead up to about the 32-yard line, and that's where they'll get going. It was Josh Robinson, the defensive back, who got things underway.
A big return there. A big block to spring him loose here. Robinson fields the ball nicely. The other returner comes up and just lays a huge block on number 33 for the Rams, Isaiah Coley, enough to get pop him loose for another 10 yards after that.
Well, we saw a well-balanced attack last week. Heavy dose of Vickland and Vaughn Richardson on the ground, and they will go to the ground right away, but the hole is closed up, and in fact, driven back about a yard or two was Keegan Vickland.
Yeah, slow developing play there with the draw, and they were hoping to get a hole, but nothing really opened up for him. The big boys in the middle there were able to wrap him up quickly, and number 53 and number 23, it looks like, for the Rams. 53 is Dylan Kusker, and 23 is Pardap Sandhu.
So generous spot there. They'll say it was nothing on the loss. They'll bring up 2nd and 10. Whittake now throws it far and overshoots the mark. That one goes into the Langley Rams bench, and that will bring up 3rd down. And we'll get our first look at the fine kicker for the Huskers, Spencer Breslin, former UBC Thunderbird.
Oh, he's got a big boot too. Good hang time on it. Gets that ball down the field nicely. It's always a little frustrating, in Canadian football, with you only get the 2 downs to start off with. You'd always love that 3rd down to get going, but you find a quick turnover until one of the teams kind of gets their mojo going.
So it'll be number 13 back, Jake Verlot. The far man back. And the punt is blocked. Flag flies. Scooped up by the Huskers. He might have it up for a 1st down. And the fans cheer as it looked like a bad bounce. And who else? One of the stars of last week, Remy Tchevo, picking up that errant ball and running ahead.
Remy Tchevo, he had a great game last week, and he looks like Johnny on the spot here. Big block, huge block, and Tchevo gets over, picks up the ball, doesn't just jump on it, but picks it up and says, I got to do something here. I got to get it out of here. Paces himself, watches for blockers, and then the guy that slows him down the most is his own man. He runs into his own guy. But it's a 1st down for the Huskers. Gets him down the field. They keep the ball.
I wonder if that was even going to stand, because it didn't look like he even got the ball. He just hit the kicker, and I thought that's where the flag originally flew. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter. Huskers will stay with the ball, and the ball now moved all the way up to the 48-yard line.
Big pickup, 18 yards there.
Remy Tchevo. Whittake with 3 over to the right side. There's the pitch to Keegan Vickland. Looking to slip through away. I talked about that defensive line of the Rams, and another fine defensive play there, and Vickland went nowhere in a hurry.
Well, it's big number 35, Cameron Cross, got in there. Vickland made a good play on the first guy, and once he got past him and turned upfield, ran into the wall that is Cameron Cross, and Cameron Cross brings him down hard. Great job by the nose tackle.
They've got a lot of size. Coach Marvin Pope, the former Calgary Stampeder, running the defense for the Rams. And he's got the big boys up front there. That'll be a load to contend with for these offensive linemen. Hand off, and this one, a little more room. Vicklin weaving and bobbing, and he'll slice his way up to the midway stripe.
Well, he gets hit pretty hard there and spun around and can't get his feet back underneath him. Otherwise, he's got a first down there. They're going to have to punt here, or attempt to punt again, because he only picked up about 6 yards. Great draw, pulls him in, gets the hole that he's looking for, and then he just gets clipped before number 31, J.P. Kalambe, is able to bring him down.
Gain of 8 there for Vicklin, as it was -1 the play before. So a good pickup for Keegan, 81 yards last week. Now they'll look to bring a little more, and Esau is injured this week, and he's the long snapper for the Huskers, so that'll change the dynamics a little bit here. Now a flag flies and has had a delay of game penalty. So maybe our fine officials working on a little rust themselves as this game begins.
Yeah, there seemed to be a bit of confusion on lining up there by the Huskers, and now they're gonna call it. Oh, wow, big one. Too many men in the huddle, so it's a 10-yard penalty. Still third down. And it's just going to back them up another 10 yards here to the 45 for them to kick it.
Jeff Hewitt is the referee. Well, the Huskers were they weren't really slow in terms of getting going last week. They had a good opening drive that kind of stalled.
Yep.
It did take them until the second half to get into the end zone.
Well, they had the field goal just before the half, so they did have points on the board going into the halftime. But, yeah, before they could get a major, it was well into the second half. And it's just getting those, the excitement after a big game last week and then coming to this game against the rivals. Get a little bit rusty here. There could be a flag on that one.
Max Joseph draws the no yards penalty, and he'll be brought down at about the 43, tack on. Not sure if he caught that in the air. If he caught it in the air, that's 15, but if not, just a 5.
No, he played that in the air. So it's going to be 15. You see, you get a big hit with good airtime here. Lets the defenders get downfield, but the defenders are just too close. And you got to know as a defender, you got to stop 5 yards away from that guy fielding it, especially if he's going to field it in the air. Yeah, no yards, number 53, Sam Henneberry.
The fellow that blocked the punt, one of the key turning points of the game last week.
Yeah, he had a huge game last week.
I think you go up and down the Huskers roster last week and pick anybody and say, well, you know what, they made a big play here.
Yeah.
That was last week, though. This week, the Huskers will have to put that in the rearview mirror, as it will be Duncan Little under center with the big boys up front. Huskers showing a little pressure to start. They'll clear out the back field and run there, and taken down after a gain of about 3 yards. And it will be Vincent Mohammed with the run.
Yeah, number 9, Vincent Mohammed there. Does a good job to get the ball. Takes the pitch here and just gets upfield, follows his blocks. But is Jeanson there waiting for him. Gets down low. Followed up with number 92, who is Jace Harden.
Jace Harden with a sack last week, the opening sack of the game. Little now flanked by 2 running backs. And now they'll pull everyone up. The flag flies. Man wide open. The catch was made. He slips under the tackle. A big lad. Still on his feet, that he's finally driven out of bounds. Number 27, Joseph Carter.
And Joseph Carter is hard to take down. He gets the ball in his hands. He's so strong on his feet, and he shows it here. He breaks the first tackle. Not a great pass, but a great job going up and getting it, bringing it in, makes the first tackle miss, stays on his feet, and the second guy fights with him before he has to get back up in to push him out of bounds.
And after that great effort, the play will go for naught, as it was an offside against the Rams, and they'll be forced to go to the air in terms of a punt.
Well, yeah, they're going to, of course, Coach Bob's going to decline this year and force them to punt, third down on the 50-yard line, right? So the Rams have no choice but to punt. And who do we got back in the backfield there to return the punt for us now? Who do we got back there?
I think that's Josh Robinson.
Yeah. Number 9, Josh
It
Robinson.
is Josh Robinson.
Does a great job
Punt
returning
is
the
up,
punt.
kind of squibbles, takes a bad bounce though. Now it's picked up by Robinson, and he went backwards quickly.
He was trying to run away there, but there was just nowhere for him to run. There's a big wall of white in front of him.
So Whitting and the offense will have a whole lot of yards they'll have to contend with here to get themselves back inside the Rams' end.
Well, you just want to get a first down or two here and get it moving down the field.
So it have been the defenses that have come to play early on in this game.
The Rams have always had a good offense. Rams' offense is always solid. They've got a lot of great offensive players out there that I've seen around the leagues for years and years and years. So their defense is going to be good. So your offense is going to be good. So the defense has to be on point. And Huskers are showing that they are. Vice versa, Huskers showed last week that they can put points up on the board fast. So the Rams knew that their defense had to be on point, and both teams are doing quite that.
Huskers have to burn a timeout as they were short a man. You could see the players screaming at the sidelines to Coach Corey Hamadi. And now big number 64 will rumble out there. Jamie Bissett join the crew and find out what the play was.
Yeah.
Key man, look for number 85 on the outside. Anthony Dick really heated up in the second half.
Well,
it'll be a big matchup against number 38, Raheem Richards. Receivers in motion, the handoff, big hole opens up. And a nice run on first down. That'll cut the second yardage needed.
Well, yeah, Keegan Vicklin gets the ball here, and I think he overthought this play. He does a great job bursting through the hole here. And if he kept coming out on a diagonal to the sideline like he was, but he decides to try and cut it back in and make a bit of a move, and the defender's right behind him to take him down. If he keeps going with a jet there, no one's touching him.
What a nice job by the offensive line, though. You could see that the big holes they opened up. There's a handoff now, barging ahead. There's a flag down, though, and I wonder if there was an offside.
To me, it looked like the slot on the far side past the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped.
Another exceptional run by Keegan Vicklin.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's coming back here. They're marching it back 5, and it's going to stay second down.
Tell you what, though, Keegan Vicklin looking awfully good. That's 3 straight runs, even though that one didn't count, where you got 8 yards or more.
Oh, I know. And Keegan Vicklin's got that elusiveness and that quick burst that you really like to have in a running back. If they can get him a hole, he's going through it, and he's making some moves. And it just showed right there on that play there. It was a tiny hole. It wasn't a big hole. The one in the play before that, I could have driven my car through. This one here, I'd have barely fit through. But, yeah, nope, they made it there. Vicklin took it for a good run.
Second and long now. They've got to make 8 yards. He'll go to the air, underthrows his man, and almost intercepted by Raheem Richards. So Whitting, who started like a house on fire last week, 0 for 2 throughout the air, and you have to know that the Rams saw the press clippings too about how good Whitting did in his debut, and they're going to key on some of those key receivers to try to limit what they can do.
Yeah, number 38, Raheem Richards, he's grabbing his helmet. He knows he should have had that one. His teammates are coming over and giving him the gears as well because they knew he should have had that one.
Now, do they concede the safety on this play, or do they look to the big leg of Breslin and see if they can make some hay out of?
I've never been a big fan of conceding points ever, so I'm gonna go with no on this one. I've tried to read coaches' minds before and been wrong many times, so they're gonna move him over to the hash mark so he's not trying to kick it through the uprights.
Would you get double points? Breslin will concede the safety.
You know what? I knew I shouldn't have made a guess there. My wife told me I was right last night, and I think that the field that'd be something else. But I think he's going to kick it here and just try and get it out of the end zone.
And Breslin will concede the safety. Game brought to you by Remax Treeland Langley. If you're looking for a condo or home in Greater Vancouver or Langley, click to find out how Remax Treeland can help you buy or sell your next home. RemaxTreeland.bc.ca. Warren Andrews with Matt Macri. Steve Muller is on stats. Great crew, Jerome and company, manning the cameras, bringing you all the angles. Robbie Snooks directing traffic in the truck. As it is a 2-0 lead for the visitors, the Langley Rams, as Breslin will kick off to them from his own 35.
We got the offensive coordinators for the Huskers got the whole offense pulled together, and he's talking to them here. He's like, guys, we got to get something going here. I mean, we're just missing. We've really got to pull it together.
Last week means nothing unless it gives you momentum going into this week. There's a kick to Max Joseph. Steps around, one tackle. Still on his feet, Max Joseph, electric. Trying to head outside. Being tracked down, and he will head out of bounds untouched. As number 80 for the Huskers. And that's Josh Guitard, played Dog the Bounty Hunter on that play and stalked him down.
Yeah, but you gotta love Max Joseph. He's so electric once he's got the ball. He makes you miss. He breaks tackles. But I love this here at the end. He gets the ball here, and he reverses his field, starts coming down on the diagonal, running across everybody's faces, pushed him off. Big stiff arm there. And here he comes to the outside, and he realizes that he's not going to go far without getting a big whap. So he tries to head fake in, and then steps out of bounds. Don't take the unnecessary hits. A beautiful play.
Little now will go to the near side to the aforementioned Joseph. Steps around one man before he's knocked out of bounds. So completion for Little.
Couple yards for Joseph there. Once again, breaks a tackle and then picks up extra yards. His yards after contact are phenomenal.
So it looks like they'll give him about 4 on the play. Well, 3. So Little 1 for 1 through the air. It's one way of getting your quarterback into it. Nice little screen outside, get some confidence.
Yep. Get the completions. Once you start getting completions, they just start to come in droves.
Over the middle, and he'll find his man open. He's a load. And this guy, number 15, Javon Cotoy, the former Calgary Colt, 6'5", 230 pounds.
Wow, that's a big boy at receiver. That's a linebacker playing receiver there. And he's great. Squares up on the ball, boxes out the defense. He's the only one that's going to catch that ball. And then it takes 2 guys to bring him down. You got the heat-seeking missile, Dawson Davis there, just finishing it up.
So ball marked at the 36 now. That's a gain of 12 on the play. And the Rams move the chains for the first time this evening. Overcast skies. Handoff. Joe Carter plows ahead. Nice pickup there of about 5 on the play.
Joe Carter here, he's very, very elusive when he runs. Gets low. He's got a low center of gravity. Watch here. He gets 2 hands over the ball nicely and just keeps down low, makes a couple of moves before he's wrapped up. And you got Dion Kelly in there on the tackle and Dawson Davies.
Joe Carter, part of that fine football family. Of course, his dad, Joe Carter Sr., an electric announcer for Rams games and community football games.
Yeah.
So handoff. Carter once again keeps those legs churning. He's got a backpack, though, wearing black and gold.
The whole pile of them on him there. Joe Carter Sr. has been a staple with community football as long as I've been around. And Joe Jr. played for years with the Langley organization and then right up to the Rams, and he does a great job.
Tristan Fournier with the tackle. It's slowed down Carter. 2-0 lead, 6 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Rams in front, they've got the ball, and they're marching towards the red zone. Little clears out the backfield now, looks for a little help. Throws a soft one, and he finds his man and taken down.
Number 80, Nick Agnoletto with the catch there with Dion Kelly right behind him. He gets that separation from Kelly, enough to make the catch and get a couple of yards, get turned up the field for a couple of yards before Kelly gets a hold of him and whips him down.
Agnoletto, a 5-year man for the Rams. So Little starting to feel it now. In his 4th season of junior or university ball. One of the players that followed Coach Blocker from his departure with the Calgary Colts. And now some heat, and he'll throw it to an open man. It's the big man. Cotoy making his way to the end zone, dives in, touchdown Rams.
But here you go. You got a great little check down play here because there is so much pressure coming at Little. And then he's got number 15, Jevon Katoy, that he just checks it down to, and he takes it in for a touchdown. Great play by the quarterback to see that, find his out with Katoy, and Katoy makes a great stiff arm there, gets around, and dives into the end zone.
Looked like Mr. Miyagi swatting at flies, a couple of guys trying to tackle him, and just brushed them off, and that's why there's a lot of hype about this young man coming into the season.
Yeah, Katoy, the linebacker playing receiver, yeah, he's so solid. He's just a really good football player.
Extra point up, extra point is good. 9-0 lead for the Rams, so perhaps the Huskers deciding they like playing catch-up last game so much they'll try it all over again.
Yep. Well, and you know, someone's got to take the lead, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So let's see how we do here. The Huskers got they had a good little powwow on the sidelines with the offensive coordinator saying, guys, we can't start like this every game. We got to come out a bit faster, and we know they can put points on the board. So it's time to do it.
Duncan Little, a nice orchestrator of that drive, went 4 for 4, including the touchdown. Picked up 32 yards in those 4 passes.
Yeah.
2 of them to Jevon Katoy.
It's great running by Joe Carter there. Beautiful.
Matias Bueno will kick off. He was 3 for 3 in field goals last week. Kicks the ball high. Josh Robinson will field it deep inside of his zone. Moves it ahead, and they will be at about the 32 or 33 to start this drive and try to get some points on the board.
And great job by Robinson here to follow his blocks and get that extra yardage one more time. I'm really liking him as a returner. I'd like to see him get sprung open and see what he can do. He does a great job of staying behind his blockers, protecting that ball, and just getting the yards that are there for him.
So the Rams now looking at a 5 or 6 man rush unless they pull back. Wittink stops and throws, got the man open. The catch brought down, but a nice gain. And that catch made by number 17, Jacob Penner.
Well, he's right there. Jacob Penner, he showed us last week a couple of big catches. He did a really good job, and here he is at it again. He boxes out, gets the ball, turns around. Big tackle by number 38, Raheem Richards one more time, and he gets him about 6 yards.
Penner didn't have a touchdown last week, but he had a couple of really big grabs that kept some drives alive. Now Vaughn Richardson mashing his way ahead for a first down.
Wow. If Bicklin's the lightning, here comes the thunder, because Vaughn Richardson is going to pound you down up the middle all day long. Watched him play with G.W. Graham for years. He's such a big, hard runner, drives so well. I just love watching this guy play.
Gain of about 7 on the play, brings the ball up to the 45, and why not go back to Richardson? Cuts around a couple of defenders, still on his feet, a pickup of 12 yards for Big Vaughn.
The Vaughnster, I mean, he's just coming in there so hard. I don't know if I want to step in front of him to try and stop him. Here we go here. The pitch, sure hands, tucks the ball away, and right about here he just lowers his shoulder and runs through that guy, hits a second guy, and falls ahead for another 3 yards. He's just eating the yards up there.
Remember, the Huskers down, a little bit of discomfort is at 27. Wittink going to the air, throws it up, and it's knocked down. That was a good play by the receiver who had to play defender on the play. Well, number 2, Brandon Poulin.
Poulin does a great job jumping up there, but Raheem Richards defends this ball so well. He doesn't touch the receiver, but he comes up over his shoulders and says, no, you can't have that. He doesn't try and catch it. He just says, no, you can't.
Poulin and Bicklin check out of the game. Huskers back with Vaughn Richardson as the lone running back. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. In motion, Wittink steps up, feels the heat, throws a low strike, and that one slips through the hands of the receiver who pounds the ground. It's Remy Teshevo, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, Teshevo, He was phenomenal last week. You know, he caught everything. He ran. He did everything that he needed to do. And here he goes down on this ball because it wasn't a great throw. It was kind of down low, so he goes down on it. And it's just through his arms, through his legs, and out the back. Unfortunate.
Telecast brought to you by the British Columbia Football Conference. All games can be live streamed as you're watching right now, or hey, if you want to go back and re-watch the Magic or catch one of the other games that happened, go to bcfctv.com. That's bcfctv.com. Huskers will punt as Breslin stands at about his 46-yard line. Fake punt. Now they'll pooch it, looking for the onside kick. And the Huskers knocked it out of bounds, so they keep possession.
I'm not sure. I think so. They're the only ones to touch it before it went out of bounds. So they may get the ball back here. Coach Bob Rice is pointing.
Not a play you see often where it doesn't go to the punter but goes to one of the blockers who kind of squibbled it up. It had to go at least 10 yards.
Yep, and it did. That's pretty sure that's Huskers' ball.
Now this veteran crew will confer. Referee Jeff Hewitt is going to give an explanation.
Yep.
A little trickery. We've seen that a few times early in this season, and so the Huskers will keep this drive alive.
Well, and here it's the key, is to keep possession of the ball. I mean, you've only got 2 downs and a punt, right? Technically you got 3, but you know most of the time you're going to punt. And so you got to do what you can to keep that ball where you can. And it's Teshivo there that gets over there and knocks the ball out of bounds, gets his hand on that ball, and says, "That's mine."
So they're saying it's Rams' ball now? Were they saying that the Huskers player was out of bounds before he touched the ball?
Oh, maybe.
Well, there's a swinging momentum with the simple whistle.
Well, let's take a look at this again here. So we get Teshivo gets onside before the ball gets there.
Darius Kelly punted it up.
And there's the ball.
And it looked like he did touch it, but hey, I guess we're not as close on the field.
Yeah, right there you can see that. And we go forward again. The ball's still in bounds. He's still in bounds. He touches it, walks it back in bounds.
The only thing I can think about, maybe if we had a camera on that angle, maybe it was just out of bounds before he did touch it and he swatted it back in. He said, she said. Rams back to the attack now as they will start out at about the 38-yard line, 37-yard line, a plow ahead. I believe it was Joe Carter on the carry. Or pardon me, it was number 17 on the carry, Jordan Baldwin.
Did
not pick up much.
We're gonna have to take a look at this at the half, but here we go. Here's handoff here and just a push forward, pick up a few yards. Huskers got to let that play go, move on to the next play, and get their defense out here and shut them down. The Rams down here.
Rams were methodical on their last drive as Little goes to the air, spots his man. And it's the big man again, number 15, Javon Cotoy.
Big 15 there, catches the ball so well.
Gets the first down.
Great job here by Little to get this ball out right away on a rope, right to Cotoy. He's wrapped up quickly, but, he's picked up enough yards for the first down right there.
3 receptions for Cotoy of 44 yards, including the touchdown. Rams now look to go to work again. Just shy of the midfield stripe. Little with the pitch back to Carter, looks for a hole. There was a hole maybe if you're the size of a mouse.
Yeah, and he took 3 yards out of it, so.
I'll bring up 2nd and long. You can see the coaching staff having a chat with the officials, maybe about that last play. They'll give him 2 yards on that last drive for Carter.
Well, I think he's letting the coach know he's got to keep his team back, so the ref has room on the sideline to work with there too.
3 carries for Carter, a gain of, he's got 14 yards on those 3 carries. 2nd and 8. Huskers show pressure now. They'll bring the fire. Floats it up. He's got the man open. Carter slips around a tackle, still on his feet, drives it ahead. I believe he's got enough for a first down.
Yeah, he does. He does. Great job by Carter. You know, everybody seemed to disperse there, and he just kind of stayed in the open field. So Carter runs up here to block, and he realizes that everybody's gotten past them, turns around and catches the ball and takes off for a run. Great presence and awareness by Little to see Carter there and drop that ball down to him, and then to pick up the first down on top of it.
So the Rams chewing up a lot of clock here in this first quarter on their drives. This is the second drive that's been extended. Little now with lots of pressure, floats it over top, and Cotoy is taken down after a loss.
Well, and it's number 49, Dawson Davies there, that gets over and makes the tackle. So you watch, Cotoy comes on a play that they did earlier, and they weren't fooling Davis twice here. Dawson wraps him up, rolls him down. Great job. Not for a loss, but right at the line of scrimmage.
Generous spot again, much like he did for the Huskers earlier. 2nd and long for Little, who sits in the gun. Carter behind him, 3 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Little with the snap and the gun, feels the heat, throws it away. He's got the man open. Cotoy, triple coverage, fumbles the ball. And actually they'll say, was it a catch into the ground, knocked the ball out of his hands?
Well, I'm not sure here, but okay, so that's why we get the replay. The refs don't get this luxury, so we get the replay. So Little releases it here. Cotoy catches it and takes a step before he's hit, but he has that ball going to the ground. We got a really good shot of it there. I don't know if we can back it up a little bit and freeze it right where he touches the ground, right about there. As he goes down, he's still got possession of the ball, hits the ground, ball pops loose. That's a good call by the referee, who had a perfect angle on it.
Gain of 21 on the play. Cotoy is chewing up the Huskers. 5 receptions now for big number 15, Little. Those two have some history with the Calgary Colts. Goes over the air, and he's got Max Joseph open, and he'll pick up another first down and bring the ball to about the 7-yard line.
Jeanson was there waiting for him, but just couldn't get over there and knock the ball down. Makes a great tackle. Here we go. We got Max Joseph here, catches the ball, wrapped up right away by Jeanson and taken down.
At the end of the first quarter, the score is your hometown Huskers, no score. The Langley Rams, 9.
So that's
A little abuse piled on the officials there as Max Joseph got a big first down, lost in the shuffle as they head to the other side of the field.
Yeah, and it's easy enough to get down to the refs, especially when you see a confused penalty like the one that happened there with that onside attempt at the punt there. Not sure why that ended up being a Rams ball myself, but it is what it is. And then what looks like to the naked eye a dropped pass, a fumble, right? And what we can see it in the replay in the slow motion that it was actually the ground that caused the fumble.
So a gain of 13 on the play. As the crowd in Exhibition Stadium tries to rally the defense here. Little drops back. He's popped as he's hit. There's the pass. Big block there by number 7 of the Langley Rams, Victor Belanger, as the pass is made to number 17 on that play, Jordan Baldwin. And he'll pick up 3 on the play.
Here, Baldwin he's running backwards, trying to get away from it here. Huge hit to give him the room there to run.
They'll give him only 2 on the play. Little is 9 of 10 in this game so far. They haven't gotten enough pressure to him. He's been good at releasing early.
Well, was he 5 for 5 to Cotoy, though? I mean, Cotoy's just been a monster tonight.
Little now will roll out to the left, survey the land, throws it deep, and Cotoy's big, but he isn't that big as the ball sails over his head.
It was out the back of the end zone, too. I don't think Cotoy had much of a chance on that play there. But Little had a lot of pressure on him on this one. Not really. He didn't get a lot of pressure on him. He got a little bit too much on the ball.
And I lied, he was actually 10 for 10. One of them was for no gain. Now 10 for 11.
There you go.
Early here in the second quarter, the Rams look to line up to kick the field goals. I mentioned the kicker, Matias Bueno, was very bueno in his first game, 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Kick is up. It's a chip shot. The kick is good. And that's a 12-0 lead for the visitors here, 13:45 still remaining here in the second quarter, and the Huskers will look to something other than trickery to try to get the drive extended. One bright spot we did see was Vaughn Richardson when he came in, made an impact.
Yep. Yep. Now you see on the defensive back, number 26 down there, Daniel Mills, who was a big part of the comeback last week, getting his foot taped up right now. That's a huge hit to the defense if he's not 100%. But now the Huskers are choosing to just take the ball in the 35 here, get their offense out on the field, and start in a good field position.
Well, the offense was slow to warm up last week, and perhaps much the same too. You wonder if the turf slick at all, although it doesn't look like that way for the Rams.
I
it
think
was rain earlier today.
The Rams, probably watched a lot of tape on the game last week. They're kind of shutting down things that the Huskers did well, and the Huskers need to adjust, and they're going to. And it starts right here with Keegan Vicklin. Big handoff, big run, picks up his 4 yards. Picks up the 4 yards that he needs to get every play.
Fifth rush for Vicklin.
He works that draw play so well, and it's our quarterback there brings the ball down and sticks it in his belly, and he just steps around people. Really good job.
19 yards on the ground and 5 carries for Vicklin as he will flank Whittink to the left. Goes over the middle looking for Dick.
Yeah.
And the referees say no, the hand challenge was good. The fans do not like that call one bit.
Neither does Coach Bob. Coach Bob is upset about this, and I think he has full right to be. There's a handful of jersey there. Handful of jersey, and the fans are just livid with this. So we watch the replay here. He puts the ball up, and he's like, all right, this is a 50-50 ball. You're going to see some hand fighting here. But you see the whole shoulder is being grabbed right there and pushed over.
Joel Clausen on the coverage for the Rams. 3rd and 6 now.
And Joel Clausen is a great defensive back. He's going to fight you for that ball every step of the way, and he fights hard. Great job there, but I think Coach Bob was screaming for a flag there. He had it full right.
So with Esau out, we've got Josh Robinson, the long snapper. So he's like the Swiss Army knife for the Huskers. Returns kicks. There's the fake. Then they'll punt it up. Low kick fielded. And a great tackle on number 13, Jake Furlot.
Number 22, Dion Kelly, snuffed him out. He just stayed with it. Big blocks happening by the Rams there. They're getting some really good bodies on it here. But you see Dion stays open, keeps his space, watches the ball, and just comes downhill on it. Big wrap up, takes him down.
Ball will start on the 53, and the Rams have scored on their last 2 drives. A touchdown to Kotoy, then a field goal. Little has been magnificent, 10 of 11. Hand off to Carter, looks for a hole. Closed up after a gain of 2, maybe 3 on the play.
Yeah, we got big tackle by number 49, Dawson Davis again. Gets in there and slows down Carter, which the Huskers have been having a hard time doing. But he plays it well, breaks down, and just gets his feet out from underneath him.
4th carry for Carter. He's got 16 yards in those 4 carries. Time you're getting 4+ yards, you're doing a good job as a running back.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll have to see if Little goes to the air. He's got 3 to the wide side. That's where he looks, or then he looks over the middle. right into the hands of the receiver, but that one dropped by Dylan Bateman. You can't really fault the quarterback on that throw.
Well, he might have thrown it a little bit too hard because it was a rocket coming in there. And it's going to be frustrating for Little because he put it right on the target. Couldn't put it any more on the target. Maybe a little bit too hard because it kind of spun Bateman around.
You have to wonder if a guy like Little, who's been around the leagues, he's been playing for a while, sees all the hype about Whittink, sees he won Player of the Week, and you wonder if he wants to raise his game just a little bit more to say, hey, there's more than just one or two good quarterbacks in this league.
Well, I hope so. I mean, this whole thing, the reason we're here is competition, right? And you love to see the quarterbacks pushing each other. Can't think that Tom Brady and Peyton Manning looked at each other and thought, oh, darn, he's better than me, I'm going to quit. No, they keep trying to beat the other one.
There's the kick, hits the turf. Fielded, slips ahead. Nice job by Robinson. Goes from snapping punts to fielding them. Moves the ball ahead. The ball will be placed at about the 32-yard line. 31-yard line.
They got Robinson down here as a defensive back. You know, I don't care what position you play. If they tell me you can get on the field more, I'd say yes, sir. Tell me where to go. You want me to catch that ball? You want me to run that ball? Do you want me to kick that ball? I got it.
Do you need some water, sir?
Yeah. Can I run the water in on timeouts? You know, whatever I had to do to get on the field. Yes, sir. Yes, coach.
Just over 11 minutes remaining here in the first half. 12-0 lead for the Langley Rams. Julian Whittink throws a quick one, catches his man, and that will be a first down.
All right.
Number 83, Nathan Stokes.
Let's get this party started. Go back to Stokes. I think that's where it started last week too. They started hitting Stokes, and Whittink was like, all right, I got this. Stokes here makes these big catches in heavy territories and takes the big pops right afterwards, and he gets up with a smile on his face and goes, throw me another.
Had the game-winning touchdown last week with a minute 14 left to go in the game. Pickup of 11. Whittink's second completion on the afternoon.
You know, I recognized the name last week.
Oh, and then another penalty, sorry.
Oh, I missed the penalty.
Now, was it roughing after the play or roughing on the quarterback?
Yeah, maybe late hit on the quarterback.
All the way up to the 54-yard line inside Rams territory. Whittink and company goes to work. Receivers in motion, 3 to the far side. Whittink will look there, overthrows it. Very lucky it wasn't intercepted as Remy Tashevo got a hand on it.
Well, Tashevo here gets a hand on it and bounces it over the defender right behind him. That would have picked this off and drops it into a spot where nobody was. It was a great job of a receiver becoming a defender right there. He puts a good spin on it, but just a little bit too high, so he just tips it up over number 31's head, J.K. Kalambe, and drops it into an empty spot. Good job. Great field presence.
Huskers looking for a big play here. Pressure from the Rams. Underthrows it. And Whittink struggling to find the radar early here in this second quarter, and that will go incomplete, and that'll bring out the punt team again. The one thing we can say is that you never know what you're going to get on these special teams. There have been all sorts of looks.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, lots of pretty exciting here on the special teams today. I don't know if they're doing this short snap kick thing to try and get it onside, or as if without Esau they don't have a long snapper that can get it all the way back to the punter.
Whittink had a spell like this in the second quarter last week where he couldn't find the targets, and then once he heated up, he really heated up. He is 2 for 9 though. So far in the first 20 minutes of this game.
And you know, last week he started off hot and then had the down spell, you know, but they came on in the second half. This game's still well within reach for the Huskers to get back into it.
Breslin, a nice kick. That one caught by Joseph at about the 15-yard line, cutting his way outside. Boy, he's got good offensive sense. And you see a member of the Huskers looking at the referees with his hands up saying, I'm being held.
Yeah.
And there's a flag, but is that going to be roughing on the Huskers for the...
Well, and then you got another flag on the far sideline. I think something happened over there after the fact, was pushing somebody out of bounds. So you get the big kick here. You get the big kick here. He gets fielded by Joseph, and he gets upfield. Don't really see anything happen here. There are lots of bodies running around. no real hold going on. Oh, that one. There's a hold there. He's getting driven backwards.
That's the one the fans were screaming at. And
Yeah.
Holding, number 31, objectionable conduct, number 2, total 20 yards, it'll be Langley's ball, first down.
the coaches of the Rams will not like that. They lost 20 yards on that nice return by Joseph.
Yeah, right at the end of the replay, we turned away and looked back to the field. It looks like Joseph did something with the ball. Maybe threw it at the tackler or spiked it on the ground or whatnot. But whatever he did there with the ball got him that extra 10-yard penalty.
Duncan Little, the former University of Calgary Dino, starting things off. Ball shy of the 20, looks up, goes long, he's got the man open, he catches it. Oh, he doesn't. Patoy, I wonder if there's going to be pass interference, but
No.
I see the orange flag staying in the back pocket.
Totally incidental contact. The feet got messed up together. The defender actually fell down first, and Cotoy still had a play on the ball.
What a nice looking pass from Little, though.
Big pass. Defender trips up there. Cotoy trips up and can't keep it as he goes to the ground. I'm kind of shocked that he dropped it.
Cotoy reminds me of Husker from 2 years ago and Mike West.
Yeah.
In his frame and the way he's got those really soft hands.
Wow.
2nd and 10 now. Huskers have not touched Little for the most part here in the first half. Little drops back, throws it over, and that one met by the defense. And was it caught?
It's going to be questionable here, but yeah, they're saying it's third down and about a yard. So Little drops back and he just fires it over the middle there. And a big catch, but number 10, Simon Winsness, is in there to make the tackle right away and stop him from getting a first down.
So number 24, and that is Tato Ferrio, makes his first catch of the game. Very close to a first down, and are they going to go for it?
Oh, now we got a penalty here. We got a flag in the backfield, and I think it was too many men. We saw a guy run off the sidelines there. I think too many men came out of the huddle there.
Now, does that change what the Rams want to do? It was 3rd and 1. Now it becomes, what, 3rd and 6?
No, it comes 3rd and 11.
3rd and 11.
I do believe that's a 10-yard penalty. Yeah.
You're right.
Well, that's the second time this week I heard that. But yeah, you're right. But full on, like, you know, they had an extra guy right out of the huddle. He ran past the referee, the back judge, to get off the field, right? And then there's 12.
Not very ninja-like.
Yeah, wasn't very sneaky about it, that's for sure. It's funny to see that at this level twice this game already.
Matias Bueno punting this one from about his 1-yard line, unless the Rams have some trickery of their own. High snap, and it goes in there, and he'll fall on it. So the Huskers will get on the board.
I don't know 100% that they weren't going to already just take the safety. It's the smart play in this situation. I don't like it. I don't typically do it myself when I coach, but he's right in the end zone there. Jumps over his head. Oh, I guess he was just outside of the end zone, so he's not going to run back in and take a knee. But
so second straight week that the Huskers have snared a safety.
yeah, you got to really think that those were the winning points last week.
2-point win, yeah.
Yep, 2-point win.
So after halftime, before the beginning of the third quarter, I'll get the stats from Super Steve Muller, and Huskers looking to add to some stat totals, especially on offense. So far, the defense has done a fine job. Just 12-2 off the strength of a touchdown by Cotoy, a field goal by Bueno, and a safety of their own. That's where we sit right now as Huskers had a safety, and now they will go to work. Ball fielded at the 35-yard line. Wittink 2 for 9 so far, looking to get in sync. The man that got him going last week was Anthony Dick.
Well, Dick made the big catches when he needed to, but I think it was Stokes that got him going, because there was a couple of good passes to Stokes extended a few big plays. Nothing for Vaughn on this one.
Vaughn Richardson tried to get outside, but lots of road closures there.
Yeah.
Loss of 1 on the play. It's 2nd and 11.
So he had rushes of 7 and 12 yards. His first 2 carries, -1 on that one.
Well, it's still a pretty good average, though. He tries to run down the line here with some big blocks, but the defensive line just gets across, and it's number 33.
Vaughn Richardson's such a better north-south runner than he is east-west.
Wow, there was nothing north-south for him. That was closed right off. Oh.
Woodtink through the hands of Stoke. 2 for 10 for Woodtink in the Huskers offense.
Well, I mean, that would have been a huge, huge play right there. Stokes is coming in stride here. Woodtink tries to put it in front of him, puts it a little bit too low, and Stokes can't get it. There's no white shirts around for 20 yards. All he has to do is turn upfield and run until he hits contact. He's a first down.
And I think the Rams are a little wise to some of the
Yeah.
special plays and the tricks that the Huskers have done.
Oh, guaranteed they watch tape this week. After that, that crushing come from behind loss to West Shore, and then, they see the crushing come from behind win by the Huskers. They were ready.
That one will go out of bounds at about the 53-yard line, which is good news because it was a bad snap that hit the turf, and Breslin did a good job of getting that at least into the Langley half.
And you got to give Coach Reese a lot of credit here for keeping the Huskers grounded. Because, I mean, yeah, they don't have lots of points on the board, but they haven't given up lots of points. They're in this game. They're fighting hard. And if they go into the half here, they'd love to put some more points on the board before the half. But if they can keep it down going into the half, I think he'd be a happy man because he knows that they come out in the second half and they're going to play hard.
Overcast, but the rain hasn't struck here in this game as the lights come on. Little handoff back to Muhammad, looking to break it around the far right side, avoids one tackle, avoids a second, makes his way up to about the 45-yard line.
Wow, he just had a head of steam going on him there. This guy's fast. Nice pitch here. Reverses out, gives him the pitch, and Muhammad just outruns the tacklers to the outside edge. And those are some fast guys that he's running out. Breaks a tackle there, and it's Dawson Davies that wraps him up and fires him out of bounds.
So that will be a first down for Muhammad. They're looking for a number 1 running back with Ramsey injured and Legere also injured. Muhammad and Carter right now, the 2 men that they'll lean on in the backfield. Going to the air again, though. Little finds his man. Ball is caught, and then he's quickly wrapped up. Belanger with the reception.
Well, that is exactly what Tink and Stokes were trying to do on their last play there. Except Little hits it here, takes a little bit off it, drops it in there to Belanger, and Belanger is able to turn it upfield. Not before number 10, Winsness gets on top of him.
So number 7 with a 7-yard reception, and that'll put the Rams in second and short. Carter in the backfield, 3 receivers in motion to the left side. Little will look near side instead, finds his man. It's Max Joseph spinning, still on his feet, brought down, picks up the first down.
Well, and here's what those completions to Katoy for those big passes earlier is doing. Because Katoy comes over here in motion and takes off. All the defenders except for one have to watch him, and it's Jeanson that's trying to watch Max Joseph and Katoy, but just can't wrap him up, gets away, and once again it's Davis and one of the Kellys making the tackle there.
By my math, 22-yard pickup.
Yeah.
Little continues to thrive under ideal conditions. He hasn't felt the heat from the Huskers front 4. Backfield clears out Muhammad. As this drive continues to be stretched. A short gain for Muhammad. He'll pick up 4. 3 carries for 16 yards for Muhammad.
Well, nice pitch out to Muhammad here, and he turns it upfield instead of getting to the outside because they're closing the outside on him here before he's wrapped up and taken down fairly quick with only the 4-yard pickup.
Chase Harden, the man that got the first hand on him and kind of rode him like a sleigh. Duncan Lill now will clear out everybody Looks to the air. He's got the man open. And a good defensive play there by Desmond Jeanson on Joseph.
Well, that's why he hesitates here to allow the tackle to make to allow that catch to make the tackle. When I think that he could have probably jumped this ball here. He comes in and it looked a lot closer in live action there. Maybe he was a little bit further back than I thought. But great job by Jeanson to wrap him up. And there's Davis one more time to help clean up the mess.
So the ball up at the 9-yard line now.
They still get a first down before they have to score here, too. It's only 2nd and 6.
Just over 4 minutes remaining, first half. Hand off to Muhammad. Runs into the big pile, driven back. Good gang tackle there. He came away with the ball.
Yeah. Number 52.
James Moore.
James Moore comes with the ball here. But I think the whistle went with it because the pile stops here. And so forward progress stops. He's still got the ball. Well, he's still pushing forward.
Still driving.
Now he's going backwards. Now he's being tugged backwards. He's still got the ball at this point. And this is where Moore takes the ball away as he's falling down backwards. So forward progress had stopped. It was a good sell by Moore, but it wasn't happening.
We'll pick up about 3 on the play. 3:15 remaining here in the first half. 12-2 lead for the Rams, who are threatening here. Ball about the 5-yard line. Little rolls out to the right. Looks to the air. He's got the man open. Touchdown Rams. Javon Cottoy with another reception.
Well, the defensive back's looking dejected back there, but there wasn't a punch he could do, and it's Robinson, I do believe. Yeah, Josh Robinson on the coverage there. And he puts the ball up high, so they have to go up for it. And Cottoy's got half a foot on Robinson here. Goes up high for it. Robinson got a bit turned around and tries to fight the ball out going to the ground. But Cottoy's so big and strong, he's just holding on to that, taking it to the ground.
Right now, the Rams winning the battle at the line. You look at the likes of Dirksen, Lazarakis, Yanda, Pierce, and Kroom. 6'4", 310 pounds, and former North Langley Kodiak. They call him the Prodigy. They're doing a magnificent job of giving Duncan Little all the time he needs to find his receivers, and they're opening up holes. And Huskers are going to have to go back to the drawing board in this first half, and they would be well served to get a major before they head into that halftime break.
Well, I mean, even if they go in at this point, they're still not as bad off as they were last week, and they came back from that. So,
do you want to make a habit of that, though?
No, but I mean, it's good for the coach, for the head coach, to be able to say, hey, we're not that far down, guys. We're still in this game. You're going to see them come out with fight in the second half. And I mean, I'm laughing as you're naming off those guys because I've watched these guys play. O-line, and they're just phenomenal. Dirksen, he's got to be one of the biggest, strongest O-line guys out there. He's phenomenal.
Good crowd here at Exhibition Stadium as the Rams will kick off up by 17 points. And here come the Huskers. Josh Robinson cutting, and he stopped and should have kept those feet moving. Might have picked up another 5 or 6 yards.
He'd have got a couple more coming to the outside. They had a really good angle on him, and he tried to make the move there. Yeah, he probably could have grabbed 2 or 3, maybe 5 yards, but yeah, he was definitely cut off, that's for sure.
What a difference a year makes, because if it was at this score line last year, we would have been, well, this is a real close game.
Yeah.
But after what they did last week, it's like, well, the offense isn't clicking the way they need to.
No. Look at Nick Lakatos is the guy that makes the tackle there on Josh Robinson.
Just under 3-minute warning now, 2:50 remaining to be precise. Huskers.
They're re-kicking.
Pardon me.
So it looks like, I'm not sure what the issue was. The Rams were offside. So it's going to go back 5 yards, and they're going to re-kick again.
The Groundhog Day rule. Bill Murray back to kick this off.
Well,
Robinson and Tasheva will be the men looking to field this and hopefully turn a corner, pick up some big yards.
Tashevo's got such speed. They're going to kick over to Robinson again because Tashevo's just so dynamic with the ball. You don't want to kick the ball to him.
Crowd urging on the Huskers as Bueno from the 45-yard line lets it fly, and they'll go to Tashevo.
Oh.
Finds a hole. Ready
ya.
Tashevo darts ahead just shy of the 40-yard line.
No, that's number 11.
Or pardon me.
That's Keegan Vicklin.
Keegan Vicklin.
I'm not sure they're thinking of kicking it to Keegan Vicklin anytime. You don't want the ball in his hands. He's very dynamic. Tashevo's really good, but Vicklin's excellent. And here you see it right here. He comes forward and he's running forward. No zigzagging, no side to side. He tries to make a move there and gets wrapped up and taken down. But for the majority, he's taking the yards that are right there in front of him. And that's what you like seeing on a returner.
Winner of a gold medal over Mexico with Team Canada at the U19 World Championships this past summer. The Huskers will take a 10-yard penalty and move back a little bit deeper to start this drive. Could be the ending drive of this first half if they can get themselves going here.
Well, this has got to be frustrating for Coach Reese because, they're one step forward, 2 steps back here in the first half. Like you said, they don't want to make a habit of fighting out of a hole in the second half every game.
Credit to the Rams' defensive line. They've done a nice job putting some pressure on Whittink. Finds his man, slicing ahead. Nice run there. There's Remy Tashevo. Picking up the first down and then an extra first down for good measure.
Yep. And I think that's one of the things that's been missing. They figured it out in the second half last week, and I think they got to go back to it again, is get the ball into Remy's hands. He's the remedy here. He gets the ball here, gets upfield, some good blocks, but he makes a great move to break a tackle there, eludes a tackle there, staying on his feet with a big stiff arm there, and he turns back upfield one more time. Another miss before he's finally wrapped up and taken out of bounds. He made 4 guys miss there before someone could take him out of bounds.
Pick up about 20 on the play, throws it over, he's got the man open. Juggles it, Remy Tashevo again. He could see the end zone. He got nicked up a little bit on that play. I don't know if he's hurt or his feelings were hurt that he came so close.
Frustration here because, and it's not even that the defender went down low and tripped him and took his feet out. The defender fell down, so Tashevo couldn't see him. So the defender falls down here before Tashevo even gets there. And he's trying to bring that ball in, and he had it. It was coming in, and then he hits the body on the ground and falls.
2nd and 10 from the 43.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot more Remy in this game.
Well, he was the guy that really got things going late in the first half. Whittink throws it to a man open, and there's Anthony Dick with, I believe, his first catch of the day. And it's a good one.
Well, yeah, this was a great combination the other day, too. Whittink to Dick. And it happens right there. Dick gets it, turns upfield, and just bursts forward before finally being taken down. And it looks like it's number 29, Elijah John, that wraps him up and takes his feet up underneath him.
So Whittink 2 for 3 in his last 3 throws for 43 yards. That last one to Dick about 23, and gives the handoff after a little stunt, and Keegan Vicklin will move it ahead.
And here's
on cue, the offense comes to life late.
It comes to life late. They got to put some points on the board here before going into the locker room at halftime. It's great. Keegan Vicklin on the draw play. They forgot that he could do that because they went away from it for a bit here. And Vicklin showing great poise, great patience, following his blocks, and just gets the first down. Just do your job perfectly.
Gain of about 11 on the play. That'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Huskers, driving late. Minute 42 to go. Whittink now starting to heat up. Pressure from the Rams, throws it up over the middle. He's got the man open inside the red zone, and it is number 2, Brandon Poulin.
He ain't fooling. Number 2, Brandon Poulin. He gets open here, and Whittink sees him all the way, puts that ball up, and Poulin just runs underneath it. Great catch. He's trying to turn upfield. He's like, whatever, I'll just go to bounds.
Well, 24 yards on the reception. Get the official stats at halftime. Minute 33 to go. Huskers threatening for the first time tonight. Woodtink throws it up. And it's caught. Touchdown, Huskers. Oh, they'll wave it off.
Knocked out of his hands after he hit the ground here. So you see Poulin's upset about this call here because Dick actually catches the ball, goes to the ground, and then it gets knocked loose. So the ref waved it off right away here. No one's really fussing about it, but you see here's the throw. And then Dick catches the ball, holds on to it, and then, it's loose before he hits the ground. Loose before he hits the ground.
Good job by number 29, Elijah John, to stay with Dick on that play. Dick looking for his fourth major of 2018. There's a timeout, though, as we're into the last minute 27 with second and goal. But this Husker offense starting to look a little bit more like the Husker offense we saw in the second half against the Vancouver Island Raiders last week.
Yeah. Great. I love to see this. I love seeing them wake up like this and come to fire because this offense is electric when they're on fire, but they can't wait until the second half to wake up. This is going to burn them in the end. And right now they're down 17, and they can't guarantee that they're going to be able to shut down what's been a very strong Rams offense in the second half like they did with the Raiders last week.
I think the two big keys in this first half for the Rams has been the protection of the offensive line for Duncan Little and the ability of Javon Cottoy to jump up there much like Anthony Dick does for the Huskers and get those balls that are way too high for the defenders to be able to try to stop.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, Cottoy has been a difference maker in this game for the Rams. Little has been a stud, and they've got to figure out a way to stop that, but also execute their plan as well.
Rams will show 5 in terms of pressure. Now they'll peel back. Woodtink intercepted. And a big tackle there by number 7 of the Huskers, Nathan Desnoyer.
Well, number 21, Kyle Claret, he catches the ball here and takes off running, and he tries to run it out when really he should have just taken a knee because he put it up on the 20, right? But here he runs it out, and now the ball's sitting on the 10.
Claret was the 2017 BCFC Rookie of the Year.
Oh, I can totally see why. I remember him from last year's game. He's phenomenal. He's a hard player.
Well, Woodtink last week shook off a couple of interceptions. He had 3 in all. Kind of tough, though, when you're that close.
Yeah.
Minute 17 to go, and once again, the defense is asked to step up and shoulder a little extra of the load.
Come on, Huskers. Let's get some defense here. Let's get it back.
Winning moments of this first half, Duncan Little under center. There's the handoff and a short gain by Muhammad.
Big man on the defense there to make the stop. I do believe it's number 55, Tristan Fournier, that wraps him up and pulls him down.
5th carry for Muhammad. That's good for 22 yards.
Well, according to the sticks, it's 4th down. So the Huskers called a timeout here to see if we can clarify this, but it's actually 2nd and 7. He just flipped it the wrong way.
You can't really give these guys a hard time. A lot of them volunteers that maybe came to watch the game and are asked to step up and help with the chains. Once again, another nice wide shot, and you can see the beautiful scenery in the background. It's turned out to be a very nice night. Nice and cool, perfect weather for football. 2nd and 7 now for Little and company. Bob Reist looking to drop something special on the defensive side. In will rumble number 55, Tristan Fournier, the man that made the big play last time.
It was number 52, James Moore, coming off the field, tapping his chest. I think he might have broke his string on his pads there, and his pads run wide open.
Over the middle, they will throw it. It will be complete. A little catch there by number 80. And I believe that is Nick Agnoletto.
Agnoletto, yeah, makes a nice catch there.
And it will be a first down.
Number 20, Riley Simpson, on his back right away, making sure he's not going anywhere with the ball, but it was enough for a first down. Gets him out of that the shadow of their uprights there.
2 catches for Agnoletto, the fifth-year man, both of them for 7 yards. Under a minute to go with the clock ticking. Little now out of the shadow of his goalposts. Will head to the air again. Throws it over the middle, and that one low. Looking for Agnoletto again. Good defensive coverage by the Huskers. Riley Simpson on that play.
That was a deja vu right there. 80-20 one more time. But Simpson was there, ready for it, and it's just short of Agnoletto there.
And Agnoletto, or pardon me, Little has not been shy to go to the air.
No, he's wants to show that he's got an arm too.
19 attempts in the first half so far for Little.
Well, they're number one running backs out, so they're going to the next level here. Little's got to step up and throw the ball here.
In motion, feels the heat, throws it over, and that one tipped, looking for Max Joseph. Good defensive play by the Huskers when they needed it, and Jeanson having a chit-chat with Joseph after the play. Those two have battled well so far this afternoon.
Well, and you're talking about 2 star athletes here for each team, one on the offense, one on the defense. So they're gonna battle all day long. And I was watching something yesterday with Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders, right? And both of them say they never slept the night before that they faced each other ever, And what did Deion said? Well, Jerry, you're always running from me, and Jerry goes, Deion, you're always chasing me. You love seeing battles of 2 star athletes like Jeanson, like Joseph, getting out here and getting after the ball.
Will be Robinson back to field this punt. Put up, almost blocked. There's a flag, though, and I think the Huskers is coming back. And Rams are going to maintain possession here, Matt. There was contact on the kicker on the play.
Riley Simpson's got his hands out saying, I didn't mean to. Coach is going to.
I think he was pleading his case that he had been pushed into the kicker, but
yeah.
Unfortunate as that means that
Rough in the
Little
kicker.
and company will get a chance to continue this drive.
Well, we got 33.3 seconds left on the clock there. It's definitely one third of a minute going on, but
half of a minute.
I know, I know, but 33.3 always makes me laugh.
He knows football better than math, my friend.
Yeah. They're going to get another shot here, but they're probably only going to get one.
I think the Rams are feeling good. I think they're going to go for it. I think they're going to look at Claret downfield. They don't think he can be covered. Look for him on the near side here. He's trailing just outside of your computer monitor.
Not Claret.
Number 15.
Katoy.
Katoy, pardon me. If Claret on defense moved to offense, he might be good though too. Katoy now in motion. Little will throw it up far side.
Oh, almost
intercepted. Just the 5th time that he hasn't completed a pass in 20 attempts. Duncan Little.
Well, number 10 there gets up really high for this ball. He wants to make sure that Joseph doesn't have a shot at it. And just through his hands there. He was pretty open going the other way if he caught that ball too. I think it would have been Little having to make a tackle.
Simon Winsnes with the almost interception. That brings up 2nd down. 27 seconds to go. Rams from about the 40-yard line will hand it off. Carter with a big seam. Moves it ahead, but he's dropped back before he could pick up the first down. They'll be about 2 yards shy.
And a great draw there. A great draw play here. Comes back like he's going to throw, and he can, so everybody backs up, and then Carter is able to get running before he's wrapped up by a whole group of Huskers there and driven backwards.
Dawson Davis, the first man that got a paw on him. So I'll bring up third down, 18 seconds to go. The Rams going to take their time. This should be, barring a flag, the last play of the first half. And for all the momentum that the Rams have, the Huskers, hey, still in it. Down 2 majors and a field goal. They will let the clock run down to 0, and they'll kneel instead. And
Yeah.
it will be a 19-2 lead for the Rams. The Huskers found themselves down 23
21 to 3 last week.
Was it 20? Or they scored a touchdown to make it 31. So
24 to 3. Yeah.
24 to 3. So a little bit less.
Yeah.
We'll quickly update you in a minute too. We know that the Valley Raiders opened up with a big 42-0 win over the Kamloops Broncos in the first game. And the Okanagan Sun were beating the Rebels last time I saw. But it was 18-18, so the Rebels came back, and the Sun, who will be the opponent of your Valley Huskers next week, always bring a real good team coming at 1-0-1. Reminder, this game's brought to you by Remax Treeland Langley. You're looking for a condo or home in Greater Vancouver or Langley? Click to find out how Remax Treeland can help you buy or sell your next home. That's remax-treeland.bc.ca. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up here for the first half?
It's been a good game. They've been great battle back and forth. Huskers just got to knock off the mistakes and capitalize. And I think we're going to have a great second half. This should be a lot of fun one more time.
We'll be back after this break. You've got it on VBN Sports presentation of BCFC football. It's the Langley Rams 19 and the Valley Huskers 2. Warren Andrews with Matt Macri. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. All right, we are back as the Huskers make their way on to the field. Warren Andrews with Matt Macri. Another presentation of BCFC football brought to you by Remax Treeland Langley.
What?
Visit remax-treeland.bc.ca to find out how they can help you buy or sell your home in Greater Vancouver or Langley. So it is a 19-2 deficit, Matt Macri, and the Huskers found themselves in a hole last week. You don't want to have to repeat bad habits, but you hope the history kind of repeats itself if you are a fan of the Huskers.
Well, and definitely. The Huskers came out of their dressing room here at the half to come back on the field, and the whole team's chanting, I believe, because they believe that until that final second ticks off the clock, that they can come back in this game and they can win this game. So right now they are on the sidelines getting pumped up. Coaches are talking, getting the players ready to go.
And I think that's Daniel Mills being carried by a couple of scratched linemen there, and that's a big loss because Mills was such a catalyst with those 2 sacks coming up from the defensive backside. And
well, I didn't see where he may have gotten hurt earlier in the first half, but they got that ankle wrapped up and some ice on it, and he's in his street clothes, hopping around.
He does not want to go anywhere, though. He wants to be there with his boys.
Well, he believes too. The only problem there is I don't know if he can hop out of the way fast enough as danger's coming.
It'll be number 13, Jake Furlot. Number 2, Max Joseph, also known as Maximilian Joseph, back to return this kick if it reaches them. Breslin will kick off from the 45. High soaring kick, and there's Furlot. Gathers up lots of blockers in front. Sidesteps 1 tackle, still on his feet, and then taken down neatly by Desmond Jeanson.
And Desmond Jeanson had to get back into play there. We got one player down on the ground there. He seemed to have gotten blown up with a block, and then when Furlot turned back, he was right there to almost grab the ankles out from underneath him. So here's a big kick here. Furlot fields it cleanly and starts getting down the field, and gets the outside there. There goes the defender on the ground, number 19, and he dives back there and just slows up Furlot long enough for Jeanson to get after him. And it's number 19, Josh Pretty, that was trying to rip the feet, got knocked down and tried to rip the feet out from underneath Furlot.
Ball will start at the 32 for the Rams, who find themselves up 17 points. Duncan Little, 14 for 21 by our account, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns. He'll go to the ground, though. There's Muhammad, who was tripped up on the way, draws a flag, though. Or was there holding on the Rams? There's the question.
Last Sunday, our draw was, for the winner, was $430.
Well, they put the sticks on the far side of the field that mess you up there. They're throwing the ball out and having a conversation there, the referees are. And now we're going to see what the call is here. The offense is walking back, so it looks like they got the first down, but then the holding is going to march them back 10 yards.
Nullifies a gain of 13 yards by Muhammad. That would have been the longest rush of the day by a Langley Ram. It's not the start the Rams wanted. They do have a bit of a cushion, though. 30 seconds into this second half.
I don't know if it's the same Jake Furlot, but I mean, wasn't he drafted by the Blue Bombers this year out of Queen's University?
May have been.
Maybe he's playing a year with the Rams, not making it on the Bombers starting squad, so he's playing a year out here before going back.
And there's a run at a very short destination. They give them about 2 on the gain. Muhammad once again. So it remains 2nd and long for the Rams. Ball back at the 38-yard line. Little now steps and looks far side's got the man open. Nice catch. Agnolata brought down to the midway stripe.
Agnolata's had a great game today. He's quietly just amassing yards, making big catches. This one here looked like it was going way over his head. He climbs the ladder to go get it. Excellent height, pulls it in, tries to turn upfield before he falls down, and it's Winsness that is able to pin him to the ground there.
17-yard pickup. Third catch of the day for Agnalata. Little now in the gun, flanked by two backs. Javon Kotoy, who's been dangerous today, out on the far side. Handoff, though, instead. And that will be number 17, Jordan Baldwin, with the carry this time.
Baldwin with a big catch there, or run there, and it's number 49, Dawson Davis, that once again making the stop. Dawson's quietly, well, not so quietly, he's had a really big game tonight, making huge tackles.
So 6-yard pickup, 2nd and 4. He floats it high to Carter. Fans want a holding penalty, but the referees didn't see it that way, and Carter will pick up the first down.
Carter's had not a great night rushing, but he's had a really good game. He made up a lot of yards in the passing game tonight. And here's another one, just nice little touch pass out to the outside, catches it in stride, turns up the field, gets it ball to the outside before he's finally taken down by number 9, Josh Robinson.
That's Carter's second catch. He's got 17 yards on 2 catches. He's beside Little right now. Little looking for Kotoy downfield, and he's got him. Third touchdown of the day, and a big lead for the Rams.
Well, it's like deja vu all over again, because this is what happened on the first drive last week. They came out and they scored before the Huskers shut the door and started putting points of their own.
I believe that's about a 32-yarder.
Yeah, great pass by Little here, and the defender underneath jumps up and just gets his hand on it, but Kotoy's able to.
Robinson's going to feel a little bit bad because there's a few times that he's had quite a challenge having to mark Kotoy. Right now a 25-2 lead. Bueno looking to convert the point after attempt. He puts it up. He puts it through. 26-2. Now a 24-point deficit for the Huskers. And much like the Kraken, the Huskers offense will look to come alive here.
It's going to be huge right here. Huskers got to get some get a drive going, points on the board, get moving forward.
Little completing 3 passes, 3 for 3 on that drive.
I mean, not only does the offense have to get going here, the defensive line's got to start getting some pressure on Little. He's standing back there. He's got all kinds of time to throw. The Kotoy is just a monster out there today. And so the defense really has to start getting some pressure on, like they were last week, on the quarterback, making him make mistakes, rushes, throws, sacks in the backfield. They just got to get it going.
Yeah, with 4 sacks and 3 interceptions. Huskers defense came to play last week. This week they're having a much tougher time of even breathing near Little, as Huskers now will march it ahead and then taken down at around the 35-yard line.
And it's Remy Tashivo.
Down to the 30-yard line is where they'll mark him.
Remy Tashivo there with the return. He fields it in the air. And he just comes straight forward, picks up those yardages that you need before he's finally taken down.
I wonder if the Huskers just need to relax a little bit, maybe take a little bit of the pressure off themselves and try to chip it away.
Yep.
One score at a time, because you can't get 24 points in one drive.
Plenty of ticks on the clock left.
Huskers with the handoff, plowed ahead. Close to a first down.
Keegan Vicklin with the one cut and head down the field here. And get a little pitch there. He makes that one cut, makes the defender miss, turns up the field, and just forward. Number 34 on the tackle, Nathan Murray, bringing him down.
Second and short for the Huskers, needing to convert. Wittink throws it over, and he's caught it.
And this is how it started last week. Stoke the fire. Got to stoke the fire. Number 83, Nathan Stokes, makes the catch. Gets underneath the defender here perfectly. And gets open. Box out the defender. Catches the ball. Carries it all the way to the ground. Number 21, which is Kyle Claret, there to clean him up.
Now the handoff. Vicklin looking for some room. He doesn't have much there, and it's the ball loose. Rams are signaling they've got it. And Vicklin with the fumble.
That's not good. That's not what we needed to see here if they want to get back in this game.
Rams have come to play after losing their opener 19-16 at home. You knew they'd have a bee in their bonnet.
Yeah, number 33 comes over, Isaiah Coley, and just knocks that ball loose. And I don't think anybody really noticed that the ball was on the ground there until Big 35 fell on top of it.
Keelan DeYoung had a hand on it. I thought he had brought it in, but not the case. And now Little and company back to work, this time from the 53-yard line. He'll step back and go to the air. Max Joseph is fast, but not quite that fast.
Yeah, Little showing off his arm strength there. Holy smokes, that was a great throw down the field. And Joseph tried to get to it, but it was just a little bit further than he could make it to.
Trying to stretch out the defense. First incompletion of the second half. 17-25 by our count is Little so far today. 2nd and 10. Big defensive play here for the Huskers. Missing one of their leaders in Daniel Mills. Receivers in motion, cleared out. Lots of time again for Little. He's got the man open, but once again, Max Joseph overthrown.
Yeah, and Max Joseph's limping here, so I'm thinking Little's throwing to him, and he's running a little bit lame there because he comes off limping a bit. And here Little sees, and he gets that ball way out there. The only one person that's going to catch this is Joseph, but even Joseph can't get to that ball there. Ooh, that looked like it hurt. When he came down, he straight-legged, and it looked like his ankle rolled a bit on him, and his knee kind of jammed too.
Would be a big loss for the Huskers if he couldn't continue, or for the Rams if he couldn't continue, because he's got that dynamic speed outside and so good on returning kicks.
Well, and they're already down a running back in Ramsey's. They can't really afford to be down another one.
Bueno now will kick that up. Caught by Robinson, trying to make his way outside. Couldn't avoid the tackle. Good defensive play by Jacob Stebbings.
And Stebbings is a solid tackler. Lots of speed to him. Smart football player. He played for the North Langley Bears for years. Used to frustrate the heck out of me coaching against him. He's such a good football player. Went over to Lord Tweedsmuir. Played on a couple of their winning teams.
What a fine job by Stebbings, too, as he got away from the block of Simon Winsnes. And the aforementioned Winsnes called for holding. So even with the hold, he still broke free.
Yeah.
Tackled him, and will be a long field for Julian Wittink.
Well, they're starting on the 8-yard line here. And it's 1st and 10 on about the 7 or 8-yard line. Not a great starting position. Be on the 9-yard line there. They're just adjusting the ball right now.
Huskers need a big play here. Wittink will set up in the gun. Flanked by Vaughn Richardson. Receivers in motion. Wittink now looks over the middle. Kind of fluttered. I think it was tipped as he was attempting to throw it to Teshevo. So that one just short. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. I think more importantly, Matt, they need to get at least a few yards to get their kicker a chance to punt it from out of the end zone, if nothing else.
Yeah, Teshevo had to go down hard on that ball. Wittink just seems a bit off tonight. His throws are all coming in low for the receivers. They're making the effort on the catch, but it's just not there. And it makes it really tough on the receivers to have to go down low for that throw every time.
Another good-looking crowd in attendance here at Exhibition Stadium. Two straight home games. They've brought some good numbers. Whittink now once again throws it. He may have overthrown his man. Is tipped down, and once again, Anthony Dick play defender.
Well, Dick had the best play on the ball here, but he wanted his best play was to make sure that it didn't go in the hands of the defensive back. So here, Whittink puts it up here, and Dick gets turned around. He's like, okay, I got to go up. I got to at least knock this ball down, because it was number 39, Mateus Bueno, who had a good play on that ball if he didn't. And now they're going to try and punt out of the end zone. And I think once again, yeah, I mean, you might as well just take a knee here. I don't know if that's what the thinking is, but
26-2 safety would, and he is going to take the knee. So 28-2 now, a 26-point deficit, and the Huskers looking for a spark. Who's got the flint on the Huskers tonight?
They got to make a big turnover on D here and get some fire in their belly. I mean, they're definitely not feeling out of it, but they're not firing the way they were last week.
And how much do you credit to maybe the Huskers not being in sync, or do you credit to just very good defensive play by the Langley Rams, who did their homework and have come in and aren't giving the likes of Anthony Dick any room to make those big plays?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from the Rams defense. It's a phenomenal defense out there. They're getting pressure on Whittink that the Huskers aren't getting on Little. But at the same time, that last throw to Dick had position. He was there. The ball was up over his head, and he had to go up and knock it down, right? Ramsey had a perfect wide open, right? Had to try and pull the ball out of the dirt and couldn't do it. You know, these throws aren't high percentage completions here. These are wild passes that they're trying to get at. So Whittink has to settle down a bit and get the ball to his receivers.
Breslin with the kickoff. Agnoleta will bring the ball close to the midway stripe. That's where the Rams will go to work, and Duncan Little has had excellent field position more often than not for the Langley Rams.
Oh, yeah, he's had very good field position. And the defense here, the defense has to get pressure on him. I've said it once. I'll say it again. I'll say it 100 times. If that defensive line cannot get pressure on Little, and he's got all that time to stand in the or in the pocket there, and pick apart the defense, he's going to.
Well, I think if they're looking for a spark, getting to him, even getting some pressure on him, will provide a great spark. 8 minutes to go as the clock continues to run. That's in the third quarter here, and a big lead for the Rams. They'll hand it off. Joe Carter knifes his way ahead before he is brought down. And he's had quite a busy day, a couple of catches, his sixth rush of the day.
He's showing what a stud he is and why he's been on the Rams for so long. He does so well. But he gets wrapped up there. He ain't going anywhere. I know. That offensive line of the Rams there, I think there's 5 guys down the road there that Little better be stopping off and buying them burgers at tonight. Great defensive play there.
Now the Huskers defense stepping up, limiting Carter to 3 yards in the first one, and then incomplete pass. And here's a little stat, because I know you like your stats, Matt. They've held Duncan Little to 0 for 3 on his last 3 passing attempts.
Nice. And that's what the defense has to do. They have to be difference makers out there. The offense needs to be on the field for the majority of the rest of the game. So in order to do that, the defense has to get out of there quick. We got 7 minutes left in the third quarter. They're down 26 points. They need to get to work here. They need 4 majors.
They'll take their time. Bueno now will kick a high rising punt, a nice looking one into the waiting arms of Robinson. Zips ahead, then he is taken down just over the 30-yard line and slow to get up. And he looks like he is in some discomfort.
Oh, watch here, the big kick here. The one thing about Robinson, he gets the ball and he starts running forward, and he's trying to move outside a little bit too much. Just got to get up the field before he's wrapped up here. And they bring him down, and 97 comes down with a knee across the throat there. I don't know if that was absolutely necessary. Now he's holding his throat and laying on the field. I'm pretty sure that wasn't necessary.
97, Dalton Dietrich, defensive lineman for the Langley Rams, is a trainer out there looking after
He's looking at
Josh Robinson.
Looking at the leg, so thank goodness it wasn't anything to do with the throat area. But he's having trouble standing up. That's for sure.
What if he's cramping?
Very well could be. Very well could be. The trainer tried to help him out, and he went right back down. So now we got a couple of big boys out there to help get him off the ground.
Don't forget that the housing market in the Lower Mainland is tough to navigate sometimes, and you need a friend. And that friend could be Remax Treeland Langley. If you're looking for a condo or home in the greater Vancouver area or in Langley, just go to remax-treeland.bc.ca to get more information.
This is a big hit for the Huskers here. I mean, they're already missing Daniel Mills, and now they're going to miss Robinson. Josh Robinson getting helped off here. Not looking good. I mean, this is a big hit for the Huskers defense. They do have the depth to fill in those holes, thank goodness.
But the Rams have some very good offensive weapons. There's a handoff now. Huskers trying to plow ahead and said they are plowed back.
Well, Vaughn Richardson here gets the handoff, hits the line, and the line hits back. Vaughn is a big, strong guy, big, tough runner. But the first guy gets him spun around, and as he comes out of the spin, there's three more guys waiting for him that just wrap him up and drive him backwards.
Richardson had picked up 19 yards in his first 2 carries. His last 2 carries, -3.
Yeah.
Can't really pin that all on the running back, though. It's a total team effort when it comes to the rushing game. You need the big boys to open up the hole up top, and that front four for the Langley Rams has been something else. Woodtank now to the air. In and out of the hands of the defender and the receiver was Poulin. Was the intended target, however, there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, and it was on the near side here, so I'm not 100% sure what that's going to be. I see Poulin was looking for a PI call, but I didn't really see that out there. And we'll see on the replay here. He goes up, the defender goes up. It looked
like a clean play to me, but
clean battle there. Yeah. So, but let's see what the call is.
Referee Jeff Hewitt talking things over with both sides. And they've been busy men tonight, haven't they? The officials?
Yes, they have.
Keeping their eyes on both sides. And now the explanation.
Objectionable conduct on the bench. This is definitely not what the Huskers want, the direction the Huskers want to be going right now. I mean, now it's third and even longer, and they're trailing. Time's ticking off. There's still lots of time in the game, but time's ticking off the clock fast.
Oh, coming to the punt team with Breslin. Looking to get that big leg behind one, and you see Max Joseph back on the field, ready to field this punt. See if he's having any trouble with that leg. We'll also bring back number 13, Jake Furlot. So Breslin will look to let this soar from about his 10-yard line. Another high rising kick, and that one at about the 50-yard line. And Joseph straddles the sideline and then shirked off the defender and has a few words for him.
Well, obviously his leg's okay. Yeah, he had a good return there. Big kick here. Great hang time on it. Gets it up in the air. Joseph fields it. Does the right thing by getting to the outside. Keeps stepping to the outside here. And dances down the sideline. Very good before he steps out of bounds and throws the defender out of the way.
Ball at the 40-yard line. That's where Duncan Little will go to work. He's got 3 receivers over to the right side. Goes over the middle instead. in and out of hands of Agnalata. Now 0 for 4 in his last 4 attempts, and this is where the Huskers offense has to get going because the Huskers defense is limiting.
Well, they're limiting the opportunities. They're not getting pressure on them, so they're going to limit the opportunities down the field here, and they're doing a good job of adjusting to the fact that they can't get pressure on the quarterback, so they just cover all his receivers. So, I mean, it's not the ideal, but it's a good adjustment.
They haven't gone to Katoy lately, and now he's running inside, near side. Now some pressure, and they finally get to Little. It took 45 minutes.
That's huge right there. You know, they finally got some pressure on Little. Number 91, Harry Somerville, gets around the edge here. Actually, no, the defender around the edge, what's the number, 52, is James Moore, gets around the edge and makes him run right into Harry Somerville, number 91, who's able to wrap him up, and the two of them take him down together.
Half a sack probably credited to both of those gentlemen. And it's literally been a game of football here in the third quarter as they continue to punt and exchange field position.
Yeah, well, that one touchdown and then, you know, another big kick.
Kickers have sure looked good, though.
Yeah.
Remy Teshevo will get up there, but then a flag goes at the last minute. And there's going to be a block to the back.
I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to pull out your 50-50 tickets.
A big kick here. Teshevo gets it, gets turned up the field. But then he tries to cut inside. He should have just kept to the outside there because when he started to turn in, number 4, James Spencer, just squares up on him and takes him down. Use those wheels, get to the outside.
So once again, the Huskers have to start from the shadow of their goalposts.
Well, it's going to be a penalty on them again here.
Riley Simpson putting his team in a bit of a hole here.
It's a clipping call. So now they're on the 1 yard line trying to get out of their end zone.
Woodtink has felt the heat. He's yet to been dropped, but they put good pressure. There's the handoff, and
You want it, you got to get here.
and then another player down on the ground, slow to get up.
And here we got the handoff.
Keegan Vickland
Gets out across and rolls down around the 3 or the 4 yard line.
may mark him down at the 5. Yeah, they'll mark him down at the 4, so a gain of 3 on the play.
Yeah, now it's just going to be a protect the ball, get it out of the end zone.
2nd and 6. They'll give him 4 on the play.
Oh,
Throws it up, picked off again. This time he's got a nose for the end zone. The Rams outscoring the Huskers offense, the Rams defense.
yeah.
Interception.
It's number 38 there with the interception. Raheem Richards, he's had a great game today. He just jumps this up. While the ball gets batted up in the air. It's an off throw one more time here by Woodtink. Woodtink fires it, and the defender goes up, or the receiver.
Went right off of Remy Teshevo.
Yeah, and right to Richard. Comes in with it.
Hard to pin that one on Woodtink when the receiver gets his hands on it and slips through.
I kind of went through his hands right off his helmet and straight up in the air to Richards. And Richards does a great job of running away from the coverage and getting into the end zone.
Well, it'll have to be one heck of a comeback tonight, down 34-2. Statsman Steve Muller wondering if he's the bad luck charm coming out to watch the game.
Well, and you know, it's like I said earlier, we got an offside.
On the defense, 5 yards will be applied on the kickoff.
The penalties tonight, the mistakes, the miscues, just off on the throws a little bit. They're all adding up for the Huskers here, and it's just too much of a mountain to overcome, I think, at this point. What we really want to see is them not give up and fight the rest still through the rest of the game here. But at this point here, they're just taking the ball on the 50-yard line.
Well, I think they really want to show they can generate some excitement. They're getting good crowds out to watch these games.
Yeah.
There's some buzz in the city of Chilliwack over these Huskers for maybe the first time in, half a decade at least.
Yeah.
You want to build on that. You know, you want to get those majors. You want to get some excitement going again, make these fans feel good leaving the stadium regardless of the score.
And you also got to consider here, too, is, the Huskers mounted a huge comeback last week and were the victors on a huge comeback. The Rams were the victims of a huge comeback last week, and that's got to be pretty bitter, and they're not going to let this happen 2 weeks in a row. I mean, they're coming into this game pretty heated themselves, not wanting this to happen 2 weeks in a row.
Now the Rams feeling very confident in on the tackle. Partap Sandhu wrapping up Vickland.
Big kick to number 11, Keegan Vickland, and here he goes, runs straight downhill. Good job. Hits the traffic, and he's got some good blocking in front of him. He's able to push it ahead a little bit.
And we'll get any easier next week, Matt, with the Okanagan Sun paying a visit.
No.
Matter if you can't be here at Exhibition Stadium, we've got it covered thanks to the British Columbia Football Conference. You can live stream the game like you're doing right now or watch it on demand. Just write this website down, bcfctv.com. And don't forget, when you're here, take a selfie and hashtag the CJFL fan contest.
Well, Wating took a big shot for Poulin down the field here. He gets the ball fired down, and the defender just gets a hand on it here and knocks it just out of Poulin's hands. This has been the story of the game for the Huskers here. It's been a game of inches for them, but the inches are always going the wrong way.
And the other difference between last week, you look at the bench. Last week, the bench was very lively. Today, very subdued.
Well, they came out at the half. They were still pretty pumped up, and I think it's getting some wind taken out of their sails here.
Nice run by Vaughn Richardson, taking on 4 defenders.
He'd be really close to a first down.
Just the 5th run of the day for Big 23. Doing a great job eluding some runners and powering his way ahead before. Look at him, 9 yards on the carry. The Huskers need the first down. They need to keep a little momentum going. It's late here in the third quarter. Woodtank will drive it ahead. Should have enough for the first down.
Yeah. He's laying way out over, I don't know where his helmet got made it off to, but he's laying out there all the way. Here's a big dive by Woodtank here. Big pushes himself forward and gets the first down.
They'll pick up 2 on the play.
You haven't heard that too much tonight, and I think this is huge. To get in there right now and get that first down. You maybe get a bit of a drive going here to end this third quarter. You'd love to see him put some points on the board at any point, but right now it would be big.
Well, last time the Rams were here last year, they shut out the Huskers. So at least the Huskers broke the shutout, now looking for more. Woodtank fires and completes it over the middle on a nice play and a high tackle. Poulin getting into the act.
Poulin makes a great catch there, gets up the field, but just short of a first down. I thought he was pretty close there myself before number 21, Kyle Clark, comes over and it's number 31. JP Kalambe comes over and just takes his head right off. Really close to a first down.
They're saying it's about 8.5 yards on the play.
Yeah. And I get another player down with cramps. Here's the thing, it's been hot the last couple of days. Today's been a cloudy, cool day. And when it's hot, you're drinking lots of water, keeping yourself hydrated, getting those electrolytes back in your system. On a cooler day, you kind of forget about it. And I think that might be a bit of a problem today, is that they get getting some cramping going. He's going to get off the sideline, get some Gatorade in him, get himself fired back up.
It was Sky King, the 6'3", 285-pound defensive lineman out of York University.
Wow. I think the Huskers are okay if he stays on the bench for a while.
Woodtink. It's got complete to Poulin again. Starting to feel it as they will march it down to the 50-yard line.
Well, and this is huge. Woodtink's now getting the ball where it needs to go. We see Poulin here comes up to catch the ball, but he didn't really need to jump that high, but he does. And he brings the ball in. He's making sure and takes it down. First down. Let's move the sticks. And now they're going to go at it again. As Woodtink makes these completions, the confidence grows both on him and his receivers, and it's going to get this team fired back up, back into this game.
Gain of about 14 on the play. Oh, the Huskers still on their feet, but then driven back. Kind of pinballed around in Remy Tchevo.
Tchevo there is trying to make something happen, trying to be the spark here. He catches the ball on the quick out here, catches it, makes the defender miss, stays on his feet, but he tries to come back across the field, and nobody picks up big number 90, Mason Block. And I've seen Mason Block do this 100 times for the North Langley Bears and then the Kodiaks and now for the Rams. And he came in there and just made him pay for trying to run back across the field.
So 6-yard loss to end the third quarter for the Huskers, who are looking to get their first major of the game, down 35-2. Warren Andrews along with Matt Macri, and not quite the same excitement we saw last week. The Rams have been very good, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah.
Stopping those big weapons like Anthony Dick, who got 3 majors last week.
And not seeing the Rams game, I can't really say what happened for them to let West Shore to get back into it and win it and they come from behind. But I'm pretty sure the defensive coordinator is saying we ain't letting that happen again this week.
Well, Coach Charlie Cardelicchia, who's never shy around a microphone, saying he thought that his group of receivers with West Shore is the most talented group of receivers in the BCFC. And he thought that was one of the reasons they had the win over the Rams. They were quite a handful to contend with.
You know what? I haven't seen the West Shore receiving core for me to say whether he's right or he's wrong, right? And as a coach, you're always going to stand by your guys. Great, right? But this is a heck of a defense here, and they're not going to let you get back in the game too often. So, you know, West Shore, great. You did a good job. Your receivers did a great job. You came back, you beat them. Rams next week, they're doing their job.
And the Sun are going to have a little bit of fire in their bellies too after blowing a lead and tying the West Shore Rebels. There's the pass to Vicklin, spins around on a nice play.
We got a flag here on the play, way down the field, away from the play. So I'm not 100% sure what this is going to be about. But let's look at the play here. We got a nice little swing pass. Number 11, Keegan Vicklin, who does great things once he's got the ball in his hands. Great step out here, spin move before he gets knocked down to the ground. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be against the Huskers.
Holding.
Yeah.
When you're trailing by as much as they are, is every set of downs 3-down territory, or do you just play it like it's a regular game?
Well, you're going to play. You're right on their side of the field on 3rd down, and you're losing this much. You're going to have to go for it. You might as well. But this has been the frustration that I think Coach Reese has had last year, and now again today, is that, 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Woodting now 2 receivers in motion to the right. He looks to the left, though, and he looks deep, and it's intercepted. He was out of bounds. So a little bit of fortune, if there is some, when you turn the ball over on downs. They actually would have been better off to have it intercepted. The ball would have been deeper.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? He should have brought that down in bounds there.
I mean, it doesn't look as good for Whitting's stat line, but
yeah,
nice interception.
It would have been a very good interception, but he came down out of bounds there. And like you said, for the Rams, him coming down out of bounds is a good thing because that was 3rd down. It's one of the things at this level, you think that they're thinking I can pick that ball and I can go back with it. But when you got to jump that far in the air and you're that close to the sideline, you just smack that thing to the ground.
Little remains at quarterback. Huskers show some heat up front. There's the handoff instead. And a nice job there is number 49
Dawson
for
Davies.
the Huskers. Dawson Davies plugged the hole there.
Stop them up really quick here. The handoff to Mohammed. Mohammed hits the hole, and Dawson Davies hits him as he comes through the hole.
And you see the big man there, number 52 for the Langley Rams. Owen Jenkins absolutely mauling the poor linebacker on that play. Pressure from the Huskers, and they force an errant throw by Little.
Yeah.
He hasn't been as proficient in the second half, but he hasn't had to have been.
Big number 95, Kai Somerville, able to get in there and just run him over. And we got somebody still on the ground here, though, unfortunately. I'm not sure who this is. It looks like a Husker player.
I can't quite see the trainer
And Kai Somerville.
standing over.
Guy Somerville just mauls. The blocker tries to get in front of him, and he actually takes the blocker down on top of the quarterback, Little.
You really hope it's not another defensive back, Matt. They've lost their share of this game,
They've already lost 2.
and 2 good ones. Robinson and Mills, and is this Desmond Jeanson on the ground?
No, number 52, which is James Moore.
He's a defensive lineman.
Yeah, he's one of the defensive ends there, and he looks like he's just holding his stomach. He looks like he's in a lot of pain here. I'm not sure what happened. He got kicked in the gut or stepped on.
He's a tough customer, though. He's trying to bring himself up without any help from his teammates.
Yeah.
Man, he just had the wind knocked out of him. Huskers feel like they have the wind knocked out of them after this game so far. 13:42 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Well,
And he's grabbing the nether regions.
yeah, we know what happened there, and yeah, that hurts. We don't really see.
Maybe a knee. Oh, yeah, you see him
Yeah.
getting rolled over there by big number
51.
51. That was Ross Bakey.
Yep.
They've got a lot of beef on that front line
Oh,
to these
they do.
Langley Rams.
Unbelievable O-line.
Did a marvelous job of protecting Duncan Little. A high snap. That one will go up, soar into the twilight, off the helmet of a Ram. Rolls back and picked up. And that looked like a cartoon from Looney Tunes as it kind of boinked right off his helmet.
He couldn't do that again in 100 tries, I bet you. This is hilarious. Straight up in the air, great kick. And you see the returners are kind of backing off a bit because they see it's coming up short. And the defender gets in there and just takes it off the helmet. And you can see it's
I think it was, it wasn't Agnoletto. It was number 90, Mason Block.
Mason Block. And he's like, oh, what's that? What's that?
And if you haven't been to a Huskers game for a while, another bonus of coming if you're a fan of live music. They got the DJs rocking, hyping up the crowd.
Yep.
They're trying to decide if it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard. I think they got to give them the 15. And the fans trying to help sway their decision.
Wow. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's a 15 there because it hit him first. That makes it, no yards is 5. If you're touching the ball first, makes it 15.
I mentioned earlier about the CJFL and their fan photo contest. I got the hashtag wrong. If you snap a picture of yourself, make sure you use the hashtag CJFL fan photo. You could win a $50 gift certificate to the CJFL website to get some merchandise.
Sweet.
Woodtick now, 13 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Stepping back, good protection, throws it long, he's got the man, and he's brought down. A nice catch there by Poulin. It's really starting to heat up, and he's got the crowd fired up.
Yeah. Good job. Good job by Poulin to get up here, square his body off on the ball. Only guy that can make a play on it. Wittink sees him way down the field, gets the ball in the air. Great job by Poulin to bring it in. He's just getting absolutely mauled by number 38, Raheem Richards, who's made some big plays today. So Poulin really had to fight to hold on to that ball.
Dropped the ball afterwards like he was doing a mic drop.
Yep.
First down for the Huskers. Going to work from the 36-yard line. Wittink feels the pressure. Throws it. Once again, they'll climb it up as the flag went down, and it was Anthony Dick with the reception. And they're getting into Anthony Dick territory here.
Yep. I mean, having the 1-2 punch of Poulin and Dick here, and then you still got Stokes and Penner on out there as well. So I think the flag's going to be.
That was Jake Furlock. That was
So
a little hand on the back.
Little pass interference call. They're going to decline that, and they're going to let's go down on the 15-yard line. Are they? Yeah, 15.
And this Rams defense does not want to give up a major.
No, they don't.
They came into the second half, I guarantee you, saying, let's keep them off the board.
Yeah. But, okay, the Huskers have been down here twice tonight and thrown 2 interceptions too, right? So.
Wittink now feels the heat, throws it, and he's got the man complete, and then the ball squirts out.
Yeah, no, I don't. They're not going to call that complete. And it's Vaughn Richardson that he tried to hit out of the backfield that wasn't able to hold on to it in the contact there.
Matt, there's been some absolutely terrific coverage by the Langley Rams tonight. They've been every second step of the way like a lead by shadow.
Dylan Cusker there, number 53. Great job to get his hand in there because Vaughn had that ball, and Cusker was able to get his hand in there and just pull it out.
We're in 3-down territory for the Huskers now, 2nd and 10. Third of the way through the first quarter and almost intercepted again. That one dropped. Did you go for the 3 points?
No. 3 points isn't going to do nothing for you. Right here, you got to get points on the board. They can still, I think they can still get a first down. Yeah, they can get a first down at the 5-yard line. Come underneath. They're taking shots at the end zone here. And maybe it's time to just come underneath and get that first down and have 5 shots within 5.
Ball just kind of slipped out of the hands of Julian Wittink. Steps back, lots of pressure from the Rams, throws it deep. No good. It looked like he had caught it, but.
It looked good, but I don't know.
They waved it off right away, and it is Nathan Desnoyer. Came close.
All right, let's see what we got on the replay here. Our crack cameramen are always on this.
Yeah, and it looked like it just hit the turf.
Yep.
Just before. He did a great job of snaring it in.
Yep, he did. But that was on the ground first. Great call by the referee. He was right there to make a good call.
So it will not be 4th down, as it says on our monitors. That's 4th quarter, thankfully. 1st and 10 for the Rams. Up a lot to a little. Speaking of little at quarterback. Throws that, and nice job by the Huskers, number 13, Jordan Ferry. Tried to jump the route. Are they going to call pass interference?
Number 22, Dion Kelly, came flying underneath there to try and get the pick at the same time, too. If Ferry gets up there and jumps up for the ball, and Dion Kelly had the best play on that ball.
It's a 1st and 15.
Well, it's going to be frustrating. You're giving away a free 5 yards here and letting them have another down. Yeah, a great defensive play by Ferry to be negated by an offside that gives them the first down over and 5 free yards.
See number 91, Harry Somerville, sprinting off the field to the sideline, so they didn't have too many men. There's the pitch back. Carter trying to cut outside, taken down neatly.
And number 49, Dawson Davies, the heat-seeking missile one more time, just comes flying in there and takes Carter's feet out from underneath him. A great job by Davis here. And, he comes just flying over, wraps him up, and just hauls him down.
Defense have done a great job of elevating their game here in the second half.
Yep.
Offense just hasn't found the rhythm to match that.
No, because we've had that safety and the touchdown, and I mean that's been it. They've given up that one score.
Little now looks to the air, he's got the man open. Big hit from the backside. Number 92, Jace Harden, taking his man down with a little help from his friends.
When number 24 makes the catch, it's Tato Ferreiro gets the ball.
Say
here.
that 3 times fast.
No. And he breaks a couple of tackles before Harden comes in and just wipes him out. And look, there's number 49 one more time in on the tackle.
He's been very good on the defensive side, Davies. He had a great game last game, too.
He's got a nose for the ball. He's just, anytime I've seen him play, he's always around the ball in the defense.
Rams from the 35, Little looking far side, feels the heat, slides. Play it ahead. Not sure if he has enough for the first down.
Well,
I think he is a little shy.
Jace Harden gets in here, and he's got the defenders are right on him as he slides. So, I mean, of course they're going to come with him. There was no big hit there. There's no flag on the play. But the O-line, they're very protective of their quarterback at all times. They get in the face of the defenders there.
Well, I mean, it's taken a while. It took until late in the third quarter to sense any sort of pressure on Duncan Little.
Yeah, that O-line has kept him protected the whole game. They've done a great job, and like I said, he better be buying them burgers after the game because you got to feed your boys.
I tell you, if I was picking the player of the day, there'd be 5 guys up front that would be the player of the day for the Langley Rams right now because they've allowed that offense to do what they needed to do. They've got their 3rd and 4th string running backs essentially in there, and they've done a nice job, and they've given Little tons of time to look downfield.
Hey, that talks a lot for the depth of the Rams, too. Okay, you talk about their 3rd and 4th string running backs who would be number 1 on other teams, that's for sure.
Pass caught by Joseph, sidesteps a tackle, moves it ahead over the center mark. Some good sportsmanship there as number 10, Simon Winsnes, helps him up after taking him down.
Yeah, no. It was really good sportsmanship. There's Jace Harden chasing him, throws the ball down to Joseph, and there's number 49 right around the ball one more time. Winsnes knocks him down and then picks him back up. Got to help him up to knock him back down again.
Well, we've seen how the Huskers come back after trailing in a game last week. Next week, we'll see how the Huskers come back after a rough one there, and I think they are offside.
Yeah,
free play for the Rams on that one.
Lots of flags there.
As the clock continues to tick, or pardon me, they'll freeze it now, 8 minutes, 6 seconds to go.
The Rams have done a good job. Like I said, they got upset last week. You knew they were going to come out hungry today. So offside on the defense. But like I said, the Rams we're going to come out this week. They're going to be tough. They're going to be hard. The Huskers, they came out. They were a little bit flat. They seem to be off just a little bit to start the game. They really haven't seemed to find their stride like they did last week. So they're going to want to try and get some completion, get some confidence under them. It's going to be a hard work week this week, and they're going to come back at it again next Saturday night against the Sun.
Little from the 48 throws it up, intercepted by the Huskers. Josh Robinson, who's had a tough time today, a little redemption there.
Well, he's had to cover that number 15 Katoy all day long, and that's a tough job for anybody. And he's done a really good job of it. But to get this pick here, this is exactly what the Huskers need to make some big plays here in the dying minutes of a dead game, and just be happy about it. Right there, underneath Katoy, takes the ball away from him, and he's a happy boy, that's for sure.
Robinson also won gold along with Vickland with Team Canada.
Nice.
Great experience for him. Now the Huskers offense looking to get it into the end zone. They came close. They've actually come close a couple of times. It's been like a football burlesque show, though. They teased a bit, but it's been stopped short.
Yeah. No, it's been a bit frustrating. You know, these were the ones that they were making in the second.
Well, you know what? If you're Coach Bob Reist and company, you could look at your boys and say, you know what? Penalties did not do us any favors tonight, boys.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, this is going to be a frustration for Coach Reist for sure, and I think the guys on the field too are recognizing it. You know, that they're shooting themselves in the foot with these penalties, and they need to clean this stuff up if they want to be competitive this year.
Huskers now once again deep inside their own zone.
Well, they're on the one more time, aren't they?
They've had a very tough time. Julian Whittink has had some tough field position to deal with, probably in about 7 or 8 occasions. He'll go deep this time, overthrows his man, trying to stretch the defense, and that was Anthony Dick, the intended target.
Well, Dick had a head of steam and got a few steps on the defender there, but he just couldn't catch up to the ball. A big pass here by Whittink, and Dick's got to get underneath that ball. Cut off really good by number 21, Kyle Claret.
Huskers now will
see the crowd's thinned out quite a bit, eh?
Look once again. Yeah, there's still, you know, it's still a fair amount. I mean, the Langley Rams are just less than an hour away, so they brought quite a few. As Whittink going deep again. He's got the man. Remy Tchevo, probably about 2 steps away from breaking that for a major. But a nice pass and catch.
He had 2 steps on that defender, and if he had a third, he was gone. That was a great catch. And this is great for Whittink and Tchevo. Whittink puts the ball up, and Tchevo just in stride right underneath it. He's got one more step on number 34, Nathan Murray. He's running for a while, that's for sure.
Tchevo, another one of those University of Manitoba products. Whittink has got some time, underthrows it, and Vickland kind of shrugged his shoulders as the ball hit the turf before he could get his mitts on it.
Well, he definitely not doing your receiver any favors there, because he was lined up to get smoked if he caught that ball. You see here, he gets the snap here. He's looking. There's pressure coming on him, so he just drops it down to Vickland. And number 23, Pratap Sandhu, come flying across, almost picked it off. But if that ball is higher, Sandhu's going to stand up, and he's going to just lay Vickland out.
Vickland now with receivers in motion. From about the 38-yard line, throws it, overthrows his man, and the GPS system not working for Mr. Whittink so far in this game.
You know, him and Dick had such chemistry in the second half last week, and they just seem so off tonight. They're going to be working on that this week, I can guarantee you.
You know, in a 10-game season, you're going to have highs, you're going to have lows.
Yep.
How do you respond is always the question.
Well, the highest of highs last week and the lowest of lows this week, and next week they got a big mountain to climb, but it's just a matter of getting to work and fixing the mistakes, limiting the mistakes, and getting rid of the penalties.
Whittink throws it over, and flag flies and a little bounce. Poulin, the recipient of a gift.
I don't know if he called it a gift, but that was good concentration. I don't think it's Poulin either. I think it's number.
He paid the price for it, though, and we see.
Two of them are down there. They look like they hit each other pretty hard there.
Poulin and number 21 for the Rams. That's Kyle Claret, one of their stars.
Oh, it's number 6. It's Jared Annis that stayed with that, concentrated on that pass there, and went bounced back up in there and he grabbed it.
Huskers haven't had many breaks go their way tonight. There was a big one there.
Yeah, huge. But it's the concentration that the receiver shows here to stay with the ball and keep his eye on the ball all the way. And when it bounced back up in the air, he was ready to grab it. And great job by number 6, Jared Annis, to stay with that ball, pick it up, and keep going.
I have a feeling if you go to the BCFC website next week, that could be one of the plays of the week right there.
That was huge. Huge plays.
Whitting now over 200 yards in passing thanks to Statsman Steve, who is also going to be the voice of the Huskers in September.
Statman Steve.
Might be a scat man too. I haven't heard him sing much. Whitting feels the heat. Hand off to Vicklin, and had to hand in his plane ticket quickly as he was brought down in a hurry.
Well, the defense had a little letdown there, and now they're back at it hard because they're like, no, we want to shut this door.
This game has been won at the line, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Both sides of the ball.
Yeah. Well, both offensive lines have done good. The Rams have done better. The Huskers have given them lots of time and popped some big holes for Vicklin and Richardson.
Whitting goes to the air. He's got the man open. Touchdown, Huskers. It's the dictator, Anthony Dick, ruling the end zone with his 4th TD.
Wow, that was fabulous. That was just fabulous. And they kind of left him alone here. They've been double teaming him most of the night. And they kind of leave him alone here because they got Poulin and Dick on the same side. And he just airs it out under double coverage. I thought there was only one guy over there. And Dick's able to bring it in and get into the end zone.
What a nice job of straddling that tightrope right near the end to keep it in. And more importantly, the Huskers get that major and get just a little tiny bit of swagger back. 5 minutes, 5 seconds to go. You'd love to see him play great on defense the next play and get one more chance to get in that end zone, make that score line look a little more respectable.
Hey, what are you talking about? There's still lots of time on the clock. They just got they need 4 touchdowns in 5 minutes.
Well, they are pretty good on onside kicks, I guess.
CFL, buddy. Anything can happen.
Kick is down. Breslin puts it through, and it is now 35-9.
Yeah. So what do you think there, Warren? Are we onside? Are we going to see an onside kick here?
They may pull out. I think the Rams are very wise. They know that Coach Reese is not going to give up until that final whistle sounds.
No.
Any little advantage he can give his team, he will.
Yeah.
There have been a ton of injuries. This time it's a Ram. Way down being tended to. And
well, the rubbing legs again down there. And that play was huge. Just watching the replay on the screen here. And just to stay with the ball the way he did there. And then the big catch here by Dick to get it into the end zone.
It's Dalton Dietrich that's down near the end, number 97.
Hey, we're rubbing legs again here. I think he's probably cramping up. And like I said, tonight we've seen a lot of cramps. And it's because of the heat that we've had and then a cool day.
It's deceptive, right? You don't fuel up the same way.
Yeah, you don't think that you need the water, but you still need that water. You still need that Gatorade, the electrolytes, the liquids in you, especially on the cool days.
Touchdown brought to you by Remax Treeland Langley. Visit remax-treeland.bc.ca to find out how you can get into a great home in Vancouver or Langley. Max Joseph looking to chew up some real estate here, as he'll bring the ball out on a nice return of about 25 yards. And that's where the Rams will go to work. 4:55 left in the game clock.
He comes in here, blows by a bunch of tackles until he hits number 49, Dawson Davis.
Woodtink actually outthrowing Little, believe it or not, 235 to 207.
Well, he's had a bunch of big throws here, especially in the second half. In the first half, what are the completion difference? That's what I'd like to see. Well,
Little's cooled off in the second half. He was
true enough. Yep.
Magical in the first half.
Well, he's hitting about 75% going into halftime. but I don't think he's even close to that in the second half here.
Flag flies as the pass is complete. Will it stand, though?
Looked to me like the slot was offside here on the near side. We can't see it on the replay there. Great rocket by Little here, and it's number trying to catch the number there on who caught it, but I couldn't catch it there.
Well, I tell you what, if Little can continue to get that kind of protection, the Rams have themselves a good quarterback going forward this season. I know they felt they had a subpar season last year, and that's why they made a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Brought in Coach Blocker, and he brought in Coach Pope, and
Yep.
only 25 of 80 players were here last year at the camp. Pass over the middle, that one incomplete. So that'll make it 2nd and 10. Huskers defense would like to make another quick stop here. It'll still be 3.5 to 4 minutes for the Huskers to play with and maybe get some more points on the board.
Well, it'd be huge to make this stop, get another score, just for morale purposes at this point. They got to be frustrated. But when they go back and they watch this tape, they're going to realize how close they were. I mean, it really. It said it earlier. Football's a game of inches, and they've just been on the wrong side of the measuring tape today.
Little now as they bring the heat, throws it complete to Joseph, and he's got his stride going, runs away from some tacklers. Finally, he is brought down by number 91, Harry Somerville, but that will be a first down and then some.
Yeah, really good job.
Well, they brought the heat.
Really
Little
good
did a
job,
great job of recognizing that and just dumped it off quickly. You can't give Joseph that much time,
Yeah,
not much space.
And you look who made the first contact on him, too, to slow him down for Somerville to grab him, Dawson Davis. He's been around the ball this whole game. I mean, I think he's partially the reason why it's not the score's not a lot more lopsided.
Huskers now showing heat again. Little sensed it. Quick little throw there, and that one caught. Moved ahead. A nice play on the offense by Tato Ferrio. Ferrio, I believe that will be enough for a first down.
Yeah, they're moving sticks again. Great catch. Way to spin out of the defense, too. He recognized that the defender was behind him, spun around, got out of there. Great job.
Marching down the field are these Rams as the clock continues to march down. 2:50 left. Little takes his time, surveys his play calls. One in the backfield. He'll step up, looks for the screen.
Nice.
Great defensive play there by the Huskers.
That's
And
Ferry,
that one,
isn't it?
Jordan Ferry with
Yeah.
the nice play.
Jordan Ferry sees this play, gets on his horse to make a play on it, and realizes that he's got a knockdown opportunity here. The receiver too seems to be fading away from the ball as it's coming in. I tell the young guys when I coach them, never fade away from the ball. Always step towards it, because you never know who's going to come over your shoulder. And there's a perfect example right there.
So we'll bring up 2.5 minutes to go. Barring a miracle comeback, the Rams will win their first game of the season. It'll be their big alumni game next week, and what a game it is, as Snoop Blocker will take on the team that let him go a few years ago, the Vancouver Island Raiders, coming to town.
Well, you know, it's funny, too, at the end of this game, I mean, the Rams have played a much superior game, but they're going to be even in the standings.
Now some pressure again, dumped over the middle, picked up, looking for another touchdown. He's got 3 already tonight, Javon Cotoy, the former Calgary Colt.
Yeah, and a great job here. I think everybody kind of forgot about how dangerous Cotoy is, because he's been quiet for the last little bit. Little knows, Little sees him. Little just drops the ball down to him.
Good tackle by Jace Harden.
Number 92.
In the red zone are the Rams. 2 minutes to go. Little flanked by 2. Don't be surprised if Big 15 tries to get his mitts on this one if they can't punch it in. They'll barge it ahead.
Well,
and they'll break the plane.
Yeah, number 27, Joe Carter. Is that his first score at major of the day?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and he's worked so hard all day, and he's put in the effort. It's great to see them give him the ball and let him try and fight it into the end zone, which he does a great job of here.
Yeah, in fact, all 3 majors before that were scored by number 15, Javon Cotoy.
Yep. Great job. Great job by Joe Carter there.
And I know there's a lot of fans happy about that, a local product out of Langley that stays with his hometown junior team.
Yeah, no, and like I said, his dad, Joe Sr., has been a staple with the Langley program for as long as I've been in community football. And he's a big part of the Rams program, too.
A marvelous PA announcer, not just at the community level, but also at those border bowl games and zone bowl games. Gray does a wonderful job of whipping the crowd into a frenzy.
Oh, he does. He does. He gets them going, that's for sure.
Agnoletto with the hold. Bueno with the kick. It is through. And now it's 42-9. The Huskers with perhaps one last chance to get in the end zone themselves as the crowd thinning out slightly. Still, though, they've done a nice job of sticking around to watch some good football.
And I mean, I know the score is pretty lopsided, but it hasn't been a horrible game. Like I said a couple of times, Huskers have been just off a bit, just off. And their defense has still played very good, but they got to clean up those mistakes. They got to clean up those penalties. They gave up yardage on just dumb plays, And I think the leadership of this team, you have enough leaders on this team that they're not going to get all down on themselves. They're going to stay up. They're going to stay positive. They're 1-1.
Well, they've got to find a way to get to the Okanagan Suns quarterback next week, too. That's going to be key right there, and that's not going to be an easy task. Sun put up, I think, 55 points on the Kamloops Broncos and tied a very good West Shore Rebels team. Kickoff fielded at about the 15-yard line, and he's busted it through. Good return by Remy Techevo, still on his feet.
He never went down.
He never went down.
They rolled him over, and he never went down.
Is it a touchdown, Huskers? There's the question.
No, none of the refs went with him. None of the refs went with him, and I think...
Puts his hand in his helmet. Let's see the replay here. What a nice return nonetheless. Another Ram down on the turf, also injured. Busted through the line.
Gets through here.
Spun around.
Yes, he's down. He's down. His butt hit the ground. Yeah. He was down. Yeah.
Tackled by number 14, Sean Avenatti.
Yeah, he's watched the replay here. Great job by our cameraman. Crack camera crew here. Spins him around, and right there his butt hits the ground. He pops back up really quick, but he was on the ground. And it looks like we got more cramps happening down here. Oh, we got people yelling, "I see it from here." Well, they're wrong. We just watched the replay.
We've got a little better vantage point up here on the replay. When you watch it in full motion, you could see why they would think that.
I thought he did. I thought he was still up. And once we watch the replay, you can see that his butt's clear on the ground, and it was a perfect tackle.
One of the big lads for the Rams, trying to get those cramps worked out. '97 for the ranks. Stolten Dietrich again. That's the second time he's experienced that.
You got a minute and a half left in the game. Maybe just take it easy for the rest of the night.
It looks like Nicholas Nika is going to get a chance to show what he can do at quarterback.
Oh, and good, because, he was a backup last year, and he didn't really get a whole bunch, maybe some garbage time play. And here, once again, he's got some garbage time play, but it's good to get those reps in if he ever needs to.
Reminder, if you want to get the full stat story, you can go to bcfc.com.
I know, right?
Nika with the handoff. That one plowed ahead, and it is number 24, who we don't have on our list with the carry.
Well, I've got a Wanny Jeremiah on my list here.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I'm not sure if that's 100% correct. Yeah, Wanny Jeremiah.
Well, there we go, Wani Jeremiah, and I believe he was hurt last week, so that's his first touch of the season.
Yeah. And they're keeping him out there with Nico, and which is great because it gets him, or Nika, sorry, not Nico, get some chemistry going between the two backups.
Throws it up, and it was a little short. The intended target, Jared Annis. There was a flag on the play. Was it holding against the Huskers' offensive line?
Roughing the passer.
One way of getting into the play, yeah, and big number 55, Sky King, the York University product, plowed into him.
Well, he gets in there, gets his hands up, has plenty of time to pull up or adjust or get out of the way, but no, runs right through him.
So the Huskers marching down, a minute 11 to go. Still time to maybe get another major, get into double digits. Get a little bit of confidence into that upcoming matchup against the Okanagan powerhouse out of Kelowna.
Yep.
Quick little draw play, and Wani Jeremiah move it ahead, trying to show the coaches what he can do at the running position.
And he does a great job here on this draw play because it kind of fools a lot of the defenders. Doesn't fool number 23, though. Bartaf Sandu, who's had a great game tonight, stays home and sees that draw, picks him up, takes him down.
Clock running, 50 seconds and change. Nika, left-handed quarterback, overthrows the intended target. The fans frustrated, much like the Huskers team. I believe looking for Andrew Palmer on that play.
Yeah, and it was just an errant pass there. It was kind of in between the two receivers. No one really had a shot on that one at all.
43 seconds to go. Nicholas Nika in the gun, takes lots of good protection, spots his man over the middle. He needs 8 yards. He might get it. Jeremiah Wanny.
Oh,
looks like he's got the first down.
That's Anus. That's number 6, Jared Anus.
Oh, pardon me, Anus.
Yeah, smart play there. Good field awareness. Gets the catch here and just gets up the field enough to get the first down. He sees where the markers are, makes a move on the defender, gets to the outside, and just hustles.
Talking with Brent Curry in the offseason, he said that Nika went out, added about 20 pounds of muscle, really wanted to contend for some reps at quarterback. And
he's a good quarterback. I mean, he's definitely got his advantages. He's just got to make some stuff happen here. And that running back
Huskers with a nice play there.
Number 33.
Was that Tanner Allwood or 33 Treasure Prodon?
Yeah,
Nice to see these Huskers getting a couple of touches late in this game.
Yeah. I mean, and when you're in a tight game like last week, you're keeping your starters out there. You're keeping your number ones out there. And these young guys don't get these game experiences that they need to get better. And definitely, this is good for these young guys, if anything.
Time for 1 or 2 more plays. Nika with the handoff. Oh, a nice little run again.
Nice job.
Allows it ahead, and once again, number 33, Treasure Prodon. I'm surprised every time. If he keeps playing like that, he's going to get Bruno Mars's treasure coming over the speakers.
Yeah, they'll have that keyed up for him next time, I bet you. Look at that, good run. Gets the nose down, get the shoulders down, protects that ball. Plays pinball with some white jerseys.
7 seconds to go. Into the red zone go the Huskers. Nika getting instructions from the sidelines. This could be the last play of the football game.
Nico really would really like to get a score here. The Huskers would really like to get a score here.
First and goal, first and 10. First and goal, let's go for it.
Here we go, 1, maybe 2 plays left. Treasure Prodon in the backfield, Nicholas Nika in the gun. Takes a snap, feels the heat, throws it deep.
Oh,
In between a pair of defenders, and Vickland in the vicinity.
Yeah, and a good play by Nika here to throw the ball with 3 seconds on the clock. He didn't have a lot. There's some really good coverage here. So he puts it up over there. Vickland's the only one that really has a play on it. Maybe Desnoyers on the outside, but he puts it where only Vickland has an opportunity and has another shot here now because he's still got 3 seconds on the clock.
Like a fire drill out there, receivers changing positions. Nika, last play of the game, barring a penalty. Once again, they'll bring the heat. He'll throw it deep.
Oh.
In and out of the arms. Was that Vickland again?
Yeah, he was going for Vickland one more time there. Vickland wanted to score.
Not much to say that hasn't been said. Steve, a little bit better of a second half, especially defensively by the Huskers. But when all is said and done, other than the offensive line, I think you got to look at Javon Kotoy as the player of the game. And don't be surprised if he's not the
Little, too. I mean, Little.
BCFC player of the day.
Little had a great game as well. He really commanded that game very well. You got Joseph Carter, you got Max Joseph, but yeah, definitely the number one there was Kotoy.
Huskers open their season with 3 straight home games. If you can, be here next Saturday, 7 o'clock, Okanagan Sun. Come to pay a visit. If you can't be here, make sure you tune in. BCFC TV is the website you want to go to. That's bcfctv.com. For Matt Macri, Steve Muller on stats, I'm Warren Andrews saying thanks for tuning in here to VBN Sports as the Huskers fall to the Langley Rams and fall to 1-1. Good night, everyone.